basement with the VHS. On a scale of 1 to 6, which one is the best? Ninjas, monsters, rock and roll. I got analog blood and a beta soul. Neon Lord with the glug jug handy. The night's the night for raviolis for Randy. Raviolis, raviolis for Randy. Raviolis, raviolis for Randy. Mac and me, Munchie and Mandy. Raviolis, raviolis for Randy. Raviolis for Randy tonight.
The lyrics took 5 minutes, not even. That they just flew out.
We're here, Joey. Filmed in glorious marinara vision and ripped from the pages of the Pastanomicon. It's Ravioli for Randy, episode 7. It's a controversial episode 7.
Holy cow.
We're almost
I
there.
remember when we were just episode 6, Neon Lord.
Yeah.
Seemed like only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Episode 6 was sequels.
Sequel. That was a good one. I like that one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was a great episode. Only to be outdone by this one.
I hope the crowd likes the new introduction. We've been toiling down in the mozzarella mausoleum. We're kicking it up a notch, like a couple of toxic emeralds trying to make it to Hollywood. So we whipped that up last week for you. Thanks to everybody who's hanging out with us tonight. Controversial, he says.
Very, very controversial. And my number one has like a long. It's controversial in the fact that it's what spawned this episode is my number one. So it has a whole story to it too. But I'll get to that. I'll get to that.
These
So
run deep, my man. These
yeah.
run deep.
So
Cartoons, Saturday morning cartoons, and series.
yeah. There's a caveat to that as well. I have it
I'd
in
like to hear this caveat.
professional.
This is on my mind.
I got professional show notes right here on the back of my list. We're getting real. It's a real show now. I need a. Yeah, go ahead.
So, and as everybody, I don't know if everybody knows this, but the Neon Lord and Joey Royale, we do not discuss picks. We don't discuss. No, not at all. We don't discuss this at a time. We talk all week long, but we never bring up the show content. So we don't talk about picks. We don't talk about how the picks are made, like what fences you're building around them, because sometimes we like to have different umbrellas from which we pull these things from. So this is going to be an interesting one because cartoons, they're the fabric of who we are. These are the building blocks, several of the building blocks that turned young Brian into the Neon Lord, that turned Joey Mack into Joey Royale.
Exactly.
This was our mutagen, if you will.
Yeah, so with that being said, well, I was gonna see if you had any current projects or anything.
Current projects? I got current projects. We got current projects, brother. We got secret projects. Sounds like stuff I can't talk about. Stuff I can talk about. I am making I'm working on a character class for Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. Bri, you know a little bit about that, but I'm digging deep into some 80s action movies, not post-apocalyptic, but I'm thinking about what if one of my favorite action heroes ever was reborn to take on the terrors of Neotrax. So that'll be coming down the pike. And then I'm working on another thing, yet to be titled. We're in the beginning stages, but my friend BC, Neon Lord, you met him during WHPA.
I did.
He doesn't live too far. He lives around Boston. I'm down in Connecticut. So what we're doing is we're trying to find supernatural locations that we're actually going to visit and come up with. It's sort of like a travel guide for supernatural investigation role-playing games. So we go to the actual locations, and while we're there, on the spot, we write an adventure based on our experiences.
That's insanely awesome.
So we'll see what comes out of that. It's kind of like Unsolved Mysteries, the role-playing game. So we'll see what happens. How about you? You got a million things.
Yeah, 1,000.
How many pots of sauce you got going on the old stove?
I got 5 stoves with 10 pots apiece.
You got an industrial kitchen.
Yeah, for real. Let's see. So, yeah, stuff I definitely can't talk about. Lots of stuff I can't talk about.
Yeah.
The only thing I can really talk about that I know is actually happening is August Kickstarter, second printing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You gonna do a different cover?
Yep, different cover. The Dusk Jacket's gonna have different art than the actual cover, and a bunch of hidden secrets. So you got the hidden class will stay hidden. It's gonna have a hidden adventure added to it. All new adventures. Some like updated on some of the typos that I missed here and there, and then some quality of life changes, some like wording changes to make it easier. Some things people are like kind of wishy-washy about, so I'm just mixing it up. Other than that,
you got the goons, man.
Yeah.
Don't forget about the goons. Tell everybody about the goons.
Oh yeah, Neon Goons. So Neon Goons is a rules light version that we made based off the Tunnel Goons rules, and that's doing pretty good.
Doing awesome. It's like last time I checked, it was in the top 10 of titles under $5 in hottest small press. So you're lighting some stuff on fire with that drive-through, right? They can get it on drive-through.
Yep, it's free. The Neon Goons free. And then right now it's the I'll buy that for $1 sale till Monday. I'm running it till Monday. Everything other than the core rules is $1 or free on
Oh
drive-through
my,
right now. It's
you're
a
just giving diamonds away.
yeah, it's a
You're a
fire
good
sale.
man. You're a
So
good man.
yeah, yeah. With that being said, I do have a class. I'm still working on the sewer shark, the street
Yes.
shark class. That's getting some work done, getting that going. So that's good. Um, so yeah, very nice. When is the next pizza party? That's what I needed to
Oh
know.
yeah, thank you. The next pizza party is, let's take a look at the calendar. Uh the calendar I get from the bakery hanging on the wall. Let's see. Uh yeah, that's going to be April 20th. April 20th on the Goodman Games site. I got your friend that I met through you, Luau Lou. He's going to be talking about. He's got a DCC/MCC post-apocalyptic Kickstarter going right now.
Hmm.
And rumor has it the Neon Lord will also be joining us for trivia. So we're going to be crossing the streams again.
Yep.
And then the next day after that, man, the 21st, that's when I get my official Get Haunted meets Neon Lords tattoo, my pizza wizard. So we'll be able to show that off.
Very, very awesome. I'm loving it.
I got to
So
get ready. They mentioned it in the chat, and I forgot. We got to start it off right. We got people in the chat. Thank you, everybody.
oh,
There we go. We got the Old Spice.
I said that.
I'm ready. Oh,
All right.
before these shows, I shave, and it hurts when I put the. All right, I'm good though. That wakes me up. Saturday night, down in the basement,
All right.
cartoons and cereals. Here we go.
So here's the disclaimer. I have a huge
Yeah.
disclaimer. Okay, so it is Saturday morning, and
Yep.
Okay, so not every cartoon I listed would have shown up on Saturday mornings, right?
Son of
Like,
a gun.
well, because okay, I don't remember if it was on Saturday mornings or not. You know what I'm saying? Like when I do a little bit different research than you. A lot of
Okay.
times I try to keep it all up in the
Sure.
mind palace.
Sure.
So then it's like it's hard because don't really remember all that much well anymore. So
All those suplexes off the top rope.
yeah, so um I don't like I couldn't remember. I would be racking my brain like I don't know if that was an actual. So I said, you know what? Okay, so this day and age, Saturday morning cartoons is a misnomer, I would say, for anything nostalgic, right?
Sure.
Cartoon
Sure.
wise. So I'm going
Sure.
with that. And then I did say breakfast. I didn't say cereal, right? It's breakfast foods.
Son of a gun. All right. I'll
But
adjust.
would
I'll
that be
adjust.
no, but that's okay.
Because I
So
have, you know what? It's okay because I have some breakfast cereals, but I also have some dinner cereals on here as well.
interesting. Okay, yeah, because but I'm 95%. Oh, let me get to this list. 95% cereal. I'm all about cereal. Like even to this day, like cereal obsessed. It must be like a generational thing.
We were inundated. Still, if you go to that's one thing that hasn't changed too much from when we were kids is the amount of cereal.
Licensed cereals.
Yeah, licensed cereals. We're missing the toys. You're not getting the toys anymore, which is a
One
travesty.
one toy did. Fruit Loops currently
Yeah.
has a Sing 2 straw spoon hybrid.
God bless him.
Yep.
God bless them.
I
Man,
I bought the box to open live on camera with you, and then check out the prize. But the kids beat me to the box, and he
there
had
you go.
yeah. So
That's how it should be, though, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Now, from what I gather and a little bit of my research, because some of my favorites, they're still my favorites, but they don't taste the same. And that's just not a palate that's been dulled, by vices. They changed the recipe a little bit, I think.
I think it has a lot to do with probably stuff that will like kill you nowadays. Like the carcinogens and everything. I think a lot of it more
Possibly.
has to do with the FDA stepping in with like the
There was
diet.
there was a change, something to do with like either using like fortified something like wheat or corn. So I've read about like some of them taste different because they changed the base of some of them. and then there's a they're not using as much high fructose corn syrup. But when they reissue stuff, they are trying to. Well, I don't know if we'll put a pin in it, but there is a cereal that I've experienced, and I think you have recently too, where they go back and they've used the original formula.
Yes. Yes. And okay. Yeah. See, we're getting too far into this because I, I think they're onto something there. But then again, we got something that comes around every year,
Yes, we do.
but that doesn't change. All right, we'll get to that because obviously I know it's on your list. It's obvious.
I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to expose any. I don't want to pull the curtain back just yet, Neon Lord.
All right, so I just needed to put that disclaimer out there. So when yeah, grape nuts are grape nuts are the grossest cereal ever made. Yes, 1,000%. I agree with
That was
that.
my father. That was like an adult cereal.
Yeah.
When I was
So,
growing up.
oh, absolutely. That was, yeah. That's why I want
That
to
was
say
dad cereal. We
I
call
want
it that. We call it dad cereal.
I want to say the promo. That was the whole idea of the promo. Was to show like a dad cereal and then do the record like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like the Van Halen,
yeah.
yeah, and then have like our stuff on it. That I'm pretty sure I used grape nuts. I tried to, but I don't remember if I used grape nuts or not. But yeah,
That's
like
great.
um, I remember a day there was no cereals left in the house but a box of grape nuts, and
That's the dad cereal.
young neon lord had to brave the grape nuts. I couldn't do it. I poured the bowl, tried it, dumped it. Couldn't
What the hell is a grape nut? That's not even a
exactly.
thing.
No, it's disgusting.
A grape nut. Knuckleheads.
Yeah. So, all right. Without further ado, oh yeah. So I didn't even get to this. So I put the disclaimer in there so people in the chat don't murder me for saying a cartoon, and then they're like, "Well, that wasn't on during Saturday morning." It's like, okay, calm down. I get it.
I have a box for those, and I call it the Kids Cuisine Club.
Oh, okay.
And I started this list with the Mind Palace, as you put it so eloquently, but here's the thing. I did research on this, and I tried to find old TV guide scans and all that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of misinformation about what was Saturday morning cartoons. However, you got to also consider too that we still had local stations back then, and local stations would put stuff into syndication from a long time ago. So like, I didn't get into any of the live action stuff. Did you? I mean, I'm talking strict cartoons here.
So I put one live action on here
Because I used to wake up every single Saturday morning at 6:00, and I'd go downstairs. 6:00 to 8:00 was when you would find all the older stuff, like the stuff that they dusted off in the bin, like the Hanna-Barbera, the World of Hanna-Barbera stuff, where you got like 6 different cartoons, like Galaxy Trio, Shazam, and all that.
Yeah. You ever?
And then they had all the Sid and Marty Krofft stuff. That was some of my, whoo, I love that stuff. Land of the Lost, the Great Space Coaster, Puffin stuff. That was all early in the morning. You got the weird 70s.
Yeah. I mean, you go earlier in the morning, you get like the Christian claymation.
Oh, the scary stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that show called?
That was Davy and Goliath.
Yeah, Davy and
Hey, Davy.
yeah, the lion is Goliath. Yeah. You ever see Moral Oral?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So if I from this, that's where they got that from.
Oh, absolutely. Like, talk about like with chick tracks and stuff. That's like
Sure.
right on that. So okay, let's before we jump in the list, I want to talk about something.
Yeah.
TV or cartoon theme songs. There's some I know you're a musical man. You are what is your go-to? What's your favorite cartoon theme song?
Well, the one that always echoes in my head, I think I'll do this. The catchiest one still to this day is Muppet Babies.
Ooh.
Muppet Babies.
We'll
like
do
that
a
was
thing for you.
Yeah.
That's a Marvel show too.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So that I thought was a great one. My favorite Oh Jesus!
Fraggle
All right,
Rock is a good one.
Fraggle Rock's a good one. I like Jason the Wheeled Warriors. That song is good. Well, okay, Mask. I guess Mask. Secret Raiders
Yeah.
working overtime. That's just a blast right there. That's a well-written song. So it goes, I'd say like Mask is awesome. And then Jason the Wheeled Warriors. I got a special thing in my heart for Jason the Wheeled Warriors. I love those figures, the toys. But I was always mad because they never made the villains. They had just a little monster minds in there. The toy line in the cartoon didn't actually jive. But that's a good one. How about you?
So like I'm gonna go with one that is good, like a banger that sticks in your head. DuckTales.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's such a good song. Bionic Six.
Woo!
Yeah, DuckTales. Ooh, do.
DuckTales was a good one. And I
Yeah,
think Muppet Babies and DuckTales too were on so much that they were just ingrained in our heads.
yeah, I think so. It's at Disney that they knew how to Gummy Bears. Like they knew
Yep,
how
yeah,
to
yeah.
make a jingle for a show, hands
They
down.
got into your head.
Oh, absolutely. So, but obviously, like my go-to favorite one is Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, Ninja Turtles is that's a classic. I
Yeah.
used to buy all those Saturday morning cartoon CDs,
Uh-huh.
that had all the tracks that were either the original songs or they'd have like bands doing versions of the songs.
Yeah, you ever listen to Power Glove?
Oh yeah, yeah,
They
sure.
they
Yeah.
did a they did a Saturday morning album.
Um what was I oh Gem and the Holograms. That's a great soundtrack too.
I'll have to check that one. My sister is a huge Gem fan back in the day, but I don't even remember ever watching it. I don't think I let her when I was
I
around.
yeah, I watched it when my sisters watched it, and I had a crush on the Misfits, like the bad girls in there. They were like quintessential. They went hand in hand with like Dementia and Chainsaw from Glow.
Nice.
So that was cool. But there was this thing in Gem where like one of the main guys looked just like Tomax and Zammot. Whoever was doing GI Joe was drawing male characters for Gem too, because some of them were very similar.
Well, I don't doubt it, especially back then.
Yeah,
So
cold,
yeah,
cold Slither representing.
yeah. I just wanted to hit a little bit on the theme songs while we were here because they're very iconic when it comes to the cartoons too. They had the
I'm
they
looking at my list. I'm looking at my list, and I think, well, we'll get to that one. Yeah, I mean, one of the greatest theme songs of television in general is on my list.
All right.
Yeah,
So let's not keep the chat waiting. I know they are chomping
they
at
are
the bit.
salivating. A very active chat today. Thank you very much, friends.
Oh yeah, I can't even keep up with it. It's a fugazi in there. I can't even keep up with it.
What is it? Roman one day. Beer is like a cereal. It's made from barley and stuff and sugar. Yes. Yep.
Bluey
And then we
has a
got,
good
we
theme.
got Hanna Barbera and Sid and Marty Krofft fans in there too.
No, of course. Yeah. So, all right, let's hit these honorable mentions.
All right, I got some honorable mentions.
All right.
These are honorable mentions because I just didn't have room on the list.
Yeah, pretty much that's how it came down. For one of them or for two of them, they didn't make the list because my two honorable mentions because I just didn't have enough room. It would have been an eighter list.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
right.
not what we do. The ravioli for Randy, we go six. I don't even know.
Six.
It's such an arbitrary number. I don't know how we got to it, but it's our top
Number of
six.
the beast. Number of
Oh,
the beast.
yeah,
Always
that
go the
makes
number of
sense.
the beast.
Inadvertently, we did too.
It's synchronicity. So
Yeah,
my first one, if I may,
absolutely.
Rubik the Magic Cube. I absolutely loved Rubik the Magic Cube. It was part of a early 80s Saturday lineup. I think it came on right after Menudo. Remember Menudo?
Yeah, I didn't. They had a show.
Yeah, they had a cartoon. It
I,
was awesome. But that was early on. Rubik the Magic Cube. I loved the little guy. He was cute. Perfect little 80s mascot, little blue face. Show made absolutely no sense. I think it was like Menudo, Rubik the Magic Cube, and then Turbo Team, the kid that turns into a car.
yeah.
So I love that one just because it was that time where remember the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, the Reese's Pieces alien?
Yes, I
You remember
do.
like the blue nose?
Yeah.
It was around that time, man. It was you got Rubik, You had the Reese's Pieces alien, and of course, right around that same time, you had Mac and Me. Had to bring them up. It's part of that. The part of that whole scene. Little tiny aliens from back in the days. I loved Rubik Cube, Rubik the Magic Cube. How about you?
What cereal are you pairing with it?
That goes with Fruity Pebbles.
Interesting.
Fruity Pebbles to match the colors of the cube. That was an aesthetic choice.
One that didn't make the list. It's an honorable mention. Thundercats.
That's on my kids' cuisine club because that's when mom would be making dinner.
Yeah. So like I like Thundercats a lot. I had a lot of like Thundercats stuff as a kid. I remember I had Lion-O and I had the sword with with the Eye of Omen.
Sort of omens.
Yeah, sort of omens as well. I've recently gone back because the kid really likes it, so I've been watching them. They're awful, to say the least. But there's some great like sci-fi fantasy, like I mean post-apocalyptic, because like Third Earth is Earth. Like the Thundercats come from Thundera, like to Earth.
Yeah.
Mumra is from like possibly around our time, maybe a little earlier, and he's like, I mean, Mumra the Ever Living, right? Isn't that what his name is?
Yeah. I'm glad you opened the door because, loved the toys as a kid. I was a huge Thundercats fan, had the action figures, the Underoos, the whole 9 yards. But man, watching that show again, I remember as a kid, it always made me thirsty. I always wanted to get some water or apple juice because everything is red and orange and desolate.
Yeah, that is true.
They didn't really build out. It's like everything is in a cave around a desert.
Yeah, but like fantastic animation on that.
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah.
That's whatchamacallit, the claymation guys that did Rudolph.
Bass Rankin.
Yeah, Rankin and Bass. That's a Rankin and Bass. That's like.
Is it really?
Yeah, so like they saw the popularity of He-Man and wanted in on that He-Man action.
That's interesting because it seems very Japanese.
Yeah, it
does. In terms of animation and drawing. So.
Yep.
Great theme song.
Oh yeah, another great theme song. And
that's
like, I mean, one of the most iconic, I mean, if you really think about it, they did take the He-Man formula and then just anamorphized whatever,
Well, speaking of a formula,
cats. Yeah.
Thundercats, Silverhawks, and do you know the third in that Holy Trinity?
So Thundercats, Silverhawks. No, what is it?
Tiger Sharks.
Oh yeah, the stepchild of the animal hero.
The hybrid, the transformation.
Yeah,
that was a cool one, man. That's where they were humans who would jump into this pool and transform into aquatic creatures.
Yeah, so it's like that movie there. The Disney movie, the new one.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What is it? It's like the Italian one, right?
Yeah.
Where they're all shooting around on Vespas, and if he gets wet, he turns into the fish boy.
Yep.
That's a good one, man. I like that. Luca.
Yeah, Luca.
Or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, good. Thundercats. So my next one.
I paired it with Cookie Crisp. Because.
Okay.
Well, okay. I mean, so Cookie Crisp, because Thundercats was rarity to get on TV and watch it, and Cookie Crisp was a rarity to get your parents to buy it for you. So
my mother must have saw something on 60 Minutes of the news about this ingredient, this preservative called BHT.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as she found out about BHT, we couldn't get any cereal with BHT in the house. So I had to go over every time I go to my grandparents' house. We'd go to Stop and Shop at night, which I loved, going to grocery stores at night with my grandfather, the desolate aisles, and I could get any cereal I want then. And that's when I discovered Cookie Crisp. But Thundercats actually, I think, was debuted as an afternoon show. It was one of the first cartoons who had a debut as an after-school show.
Yeah, I had a feeling that it wasn't. That was like the main one that I didn't know if it was Saturday morning or not.
But what I was saying before is like these local affiliates, they would show stuff all the time. So
Right.
like I have memories of seeing glimpses of these on Saturday mornings. It just wasn't their debut.
Right.
They would show packages.
Oh yeah, don't worry. We'll get into debuts. That's a whole thing. Cartoon
So
debuts.
that's a nice one there with the Thundercats and the Cookie Crisp. I do have Cookie Crisp attached to a show on my list. I loved a next one is, and a very early one for me, Richie Rich.
Yeah.
The original Richie Rich was awesome. That would come on early. That was like 7 o'clock. So you're just getting warmed up. You got the crusties out of your eyes. You have a glass of orange juice. Parents aren't up yet. Richie Rich is on. And it's what every kid could ever hope for. Just piles and piles of crazy money and technology. You got the robot made. And I paired that one with Raisin Bran just because, it's very fancy. You got raisins in your cereal. So much like the vanity and gluttony of Richie Rich, when I was a younger lad, that was your fancy kid cereal, the Raisin Bran.
Very nice. Very, very nice. And we start with the controversial picks off of my next honorable mention.
Yeah.
I got Legends of the Hidden Temple, the Nickelodeon show, but
show?
I paired it with Hidden Treasure cereal.
Ooh, Hidden Treasure cereal. Now, is this the one that had the filling?
Some of them had filling and some of them didn't.
Yes. You never knew what you were going to get. This was a very interesting concept.
Yeah.
It wasn't just here you go. It's not immediate gratification. You had to find the one that had the puff with the stuff inside.
It wasn't hard. You could literally see it.
But I like the way you're thinking there. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, so like Olmec, Legends of the Hidden Temple, like was my favorite when it came to those children's game shows, I guess you would call them. What else would it be, right?
Yeah, they're game shows. You had Guts. You had with the Aggro Crag.
Aggro Crag on the Guts. Yeah, I still want to buy an Aggro Crag. It's gonna happen.
That's a very Neon Lords kind of thing, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm either gonna make one or I'm gonna get one. Like
Legend of the Hidden Temple was absolutely terrifying. Terrifying, stressful show.
Yeah,
Holy cow!
Yeah, I was stressed out watching it, and then like when the the temple guards would come and grab the kids,
man, what the guys jumping out of nowhere, half naked with feathers all over them. That was scary. I read an article about that. There was a lot of injuries on that show.
Oh yeah, I did watch that, and then and they purposefully like set it up to where kids would fail because they were only allotted like a certain amount of like grand prize winners.
Yeah,
because they couldn't afford to send like every kid to the lower 48, I guess. Like you and a parent get to go to any state in the lower 48. Yeah. Like, wow. Cool. I know that was
a near impossible show.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if they did the lower 48, but I know Carmen Sandiego did, like, for a fact.
That's right. Yeah. So I have my controversial one, since we're going down that route.
Yeah.
For me, this was a Sunday morning show.
Okay.
And only a little bit of animation. Captain Power.
Captain Power.
Talk
about the ultimate toy tie-in where you literally had to have the toy to watch the show.
I mean, there's no sense of watching the show without the toy, but that was amazing technology. I don't know why people didn't grasp onto that. I'd still be shooting at the television set now. That was it was crazy.
Have you seen?
They had these. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, folks. So Captain Power was, a setting in the future. You got spaceships and really, it was a really cool show. It was live action and you had some early CGI in it, but the guys were all armored out. You had a guy hero, a bunch of guys, some girl heroes and all that, some good bad guy robots and all that. But you would buy the spaceship that had a trigger on it. So you could put your figure in, you could buy figures, you could buy the spaceships. Captain Power's spaceship and Lord Dread, the bad guy, both had spaceships, white and black respectively. And you could shoot the screen. So a bad guy would come on and he'd have this like neon pink glowing shield on his chest. And it would send out frequencies that could damage your toy. Like it at different stages. Like if you got one beep, something would happen. It's two beeps, the canopy would blow off. But also reciprocally, you could shoot back at the screen, and like if you hit the thing, you'd get a special noise. If you miss, you hear another noise. Incredible. It didn't last. It looked like it was like there was some cool production on it.
Oh,
kind of like
I think
green screen.
I think the cost of per episode outweighed what they're getting. I realistically think, like we talk about him all the time. They're the toy guy on YouTube. Ah, Toy Galaxy.
Toy Galaxy. Yeah.
He did an episode on it.
It was really cool. That was like around the same time as Photon. Do you remember the Photon Kick show?
Yeah, Photon. But Photon was like the Kmart to laser tag.
But the show.
Yeah, the show is better than laser tag, of course.
The show, I went back and looked at it last week. It was like weird. It had that weird film over it, and it was just all green screen and bulky costumes. And of course, the figures you could never, ever find in the toy store. You could find Bodie Lee and the four-armed orange bad guy. They would come together. And everybody else on the back, I've never seen in person, only the prototypes on eBay.
So that technology, there's a home like the VCR, like arcade setups.
Yes.
There's like a bunch of them, right? So I'll get the link to it. I don't know the name off the top of my head, but there's one that did a haunted house.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Have you watched like the walkthrough of that haunted house?
Yes, I have. It is
glorious.
I got it. Yeah. You have a copy of that? Do you have the VHS?
No. They're not that hard to find, really. I looked them up. I watched it on YouTube. But then the cop simulator one. Have you watched that one?
No, I haven't seen that one.
So they're mannequins that are set up all around with like guns that you shoot at and stuff. So it has that weird, like eerie look to it, like because mannequins. We never really talked about my intense fear of mannequins as a child, which I'm sure you had as well.
I did, and I actually, as a career, I did creative design. I did the setups of some storefronts in New York, and I was always I had gone to giant warehouses alone to pick out mannequins, and it brings me back to like Tourist Trap, where my fear of mannequins really exploded.
So back to Picnic Pizza in the mall.
Yeah. Let's go back to Picnic Pizza. I always had a trip down memory lane to Picnic Pizza.
I remember we were there eating pizza in the food court, Picnic Pizza. I hear the overhead PA talk about the mall's closing, right? The dread came about me that if I got locked in this mall, these mannequins were going to come to life. I was definitely afraid.
Absolutely. I was also the same kid that got in trouble when I was little I would always take the wigs off the mannequins and put them on and stand in the front window pretending I was a mannequin. I thought I was fooling people.
Yeah.
Oh, well, man.
When you're a child and you draw on your first mustache, they know you're not real, right?
Yeah, right. They know there's something off with that boy.
Yeah. So, yep. So, the Captain Power.
Captain Power. Yeah.
So I have honorable mention. I didn't pair it with a cereal, but Masters of the Universe. Like, I had a lot of Masters of the Universe as a kid, but like the cartoons were like syndicated by the time, like, because I mean, like there was the popularity was what, like 83, like 84 height of Motu, and I was like 2.
Yep, I was surprised as a collector as I started going back to collect again. I didn't realize how early on Masters of the Universe started. We're talking 82, 83. Mm-hmm. That's just, I just consider that all of the 80s, but it really wasn't. And it did die off fast.
Yeah, it was a flash in the pan.
Yep.
But the show was very syndicated. Like,
yeah.
And then
I remember seeing it in the 90s. I was in Aruba. I went on a family vacation with my grandparents. And I remember they were showing episodes of Masters of the Universe, probably like 95 on Aruban television.
Very awesome. Well, I mean, like, plus you had the Dolph Lundgren show. You had
Yeah.
like the reboot, the '90s reboot. Well, it was like '80s. I want to say like late '80s reboot.
The New Adventures of He-Man
Yeah.
were late 80s, man. I never got into that. That was like a whole other thing.
I got the for Christmas one year. I got the Skeletor He-Man 2-pack. I
Yep.
remember that, but that's as far as I ever got because I mean it died out. But
Yeah, it did die fast.
the eyeball guy is
The
on.
eyeball guy.
He's on my
Yeah.
list to get still to this day.
I like the eyeball guy, and then there was like some guy. His name's like Slush Head or Sludge Head. I like anything with a clear plastic dome, and he had like a clear plastic dome with. Yeah, I mean that's the thing. They were cool, but by that point, like I think it was like He-Man dropped, and then I don't know what got big, like superheroes. I think, and I think I moved on. GI
Oh,
Joe
absolutely.
took over.
Well, we'll get into what took over eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah, so unfortunately, Motu didn't make the list because I felt I didn't want to do it too much. I remember like watching it as a kid, but I remember watching it at night as a kid.
That's part of my kids' cuisine club. I'll add Masters, Thundercats, and Voltron was also on that time too.
Yeah, Voltron. Yep, Voltron to me was definitely a nighttime cartoon. I'm gonna burn some more frankincense while we're talking.
Yeah, I see that smoke going over there.
Hmm.
To everybody in the chat, what is your favorite incense? This is something that Brian and I talk behind the scenes. I am your classic Nag Champa guy. Got into white sage, and Brian, you're into the frankincense, right?
I like frankincense a lot, and then opium was one that I was really getting into.
Yeah, yeah, opium was a good one.
I do like the opium, but yeah, frankincense. I had one. I don't know what I did with the box. It was like the Kabbalah Tree of Life one that centered my chakras, and I was aligned to write about toxic sludge and Judge
Nice.
Dredd a little bit more. It worked
That's
out.
nice.
So
I
yeah,
got one more runner up, but
Go for
this is a tough one. Real Ghostbusters.
honorable mention.
It didn't make it. Do I got to
Wow.
put a pin in it?
I mean, yeah, we could talk about it. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, yep, you gotta put a pin in it.
I'll put a pin in it.
All
Paired
right.
it up with the beautiful one, but we'll talk about it when we get there. That was a tough one for me. It went from like being 3 on my original list, and it eventually got bumped down as I started to hash this out.
Just
Great
went.
cartoon.
Oh yeah, all right, yeah. I mean, that's a whole thing. That's a whole talk on itself. That cartoon.
Are we
So,
ready? Are we ready
oh
to jump into this?
yes, let's do it, baby.
I feel like a bull at the rodeo. We're just in that gate, ready to open that gate and just start bucking around. So go ahead.
Chat
Number
is-
6.
Number
Official
6.
list, ladies and gentlemen.
So,
number 6.
my number 6 show, Pee Wee's Playhouse, and I paired it with King Vitamin cereal.
Ooh. Okay, so full disclosure,
Yeah,
Pee-wee's Playhouse is my number 1 television show of all time, period.
right.
So that's just like, boom, that's just up on the wall forever. Anytime we do a show where it has to do with television, just understand that Joey's number 1 in general in life is Pee-wee's Playhouse.
So your Pee Wee's Playhouse is to Dawn of the Dead to me then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, so like I picked Pee Wee's because like that was like the epitome of Saturday morning. If you got to watch like Pee Wee's Playhouse,
Yeah.
like CBS, I definitely remember like the bumpers and everything, the channel bumpers.
10 o'clock,
Yep. Yeah.
10 or 10:30.
Yeah, because you're at the cusp of like your parents like starting to like tell you to get outside, like it's over. That's
Right,
like
absolutely.
it was like the end of the morning. You ended the morning with Pee Wee's Playhouse. So like, and it had so Pee Wee's Playhouse had that '90s Pete and Pete kind of surreal, like not reality feel to it to me.
Yeah.
So that's why I paired it with King Vitamin because King Vitamin. Are you aware of this cereal?
I have never had it, but in my research, I saw the cover. I have
Okay.
never eaten it.
It is like it's not Captain Crunch, but it is Captain Crunch.
Yes. Yes.
So like we got it a lot as a kid. I feel like it was a value brand cereal. I know it wasn't for a while, and I feel like the king himself was dethroned down, and King Vitamin was sold right next to Captain Crunch in the aisle. I remember that distinctly on the top shelf, far left.
King Vitamin was Quaker, so that was a real deal brand.
And it never came with a prize, but it always had a mask you could cut out on the back.
Yes, that's a nice choice, a nice pairing. Pee Wee's, if I were to pair Pee Wee's with something,
Hmm.
uh, Mr. T cereal. I
Yeah.
pity the food that doesn't eat my cereal.
Well, yeah. So of course, because you got the scene in the movie too.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Pee Wee's Playhouse, man, it had everything a kid needed for entertainment.
Hmm. Yeah.
You have a clubhouse. Everything's talking. You got the king of cartoons who would show those awesome black and white cartoons of like dancing food, getting into trouble and stuff like that. Penny, I loved Penny, man. You couldn't go wrong with Penny. Remember Penny?
Oh yeah.
And then you had the dinosaur family in the wall,
Yeah.
the refrigerator filled with food.
Randy.
That Randy and Billy Baloney.
Yeah. And then the genie got Mecha Lecca High, Mecha Hiney Ho.
Jambi.
Yeah.
Jambi came very close to getting Jambi tattooed on my arm a couple months ago.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
just passed away.
Yep. I know. I was just telling my mom that because she actually remembers Mecha Lecca High, Mecha Hiney Ho. Like to this.
Hiney Ho.
Yeah.
Moona Lecca Chula Lecca Moona Lecca Hey. Yeah. But man, going back and watching, my kids watch that now, and going back, there's a little blue humor in that going through the whole thing. It's pretty funny sometimes. Sometimes Pee Wee's got mirrors on his shoes when Miss Yvonne comes by. But Randy was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the Terry was a chair or Cherry.
Terry was the pterodactyl.
That's right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, the Terry the pterodactyl was awesome too. Yeah, like and
Mr.
yeah.
Kite.
Yep. What?
Mr. Kite. You had the flowers, the fish.
Oh yeah. Word of the day. A robot.
Conky.
Yeah.
Conky and Magic Screen.
Wild.
Cowboy Curtis, Reba the mail lady, Ricardo, the soccer player. Like, where did Ricardo come from? Like, but some, what you have? You have Lawrence Fishburne on there.
Yeah.
And then you had what's her name? Tasha Leone, from Orange is the New Black, and what was that show I love? Slums of Beverly Hills, that movie she was in. I was in love with her. But she was on there too as a kid. She'd come over and give Pee Wee foil for his foil ball.
Oh, the big foil ball. But then he changed it to a rubber band ball because
rubber band ball. Yeah.
Foil ball got too big.
Yeah.
That's all from memory too.
Absolutely. No, that's happened. You had to get rid of it.
That's like
then,
oh, go ahead.
He had that helmet. The scooter helmet had Oculus Orbis. He had the eyeball mad ball attached to it right there.
Yeah, that's the so that's like the VHS collection has him on his bike with the helmet. Very iconic.
There's a great documentary about Wayne White. He did a lot of the set design and character design for that movie. I follow him on Instagram. He's a really, really cool artist who was like, who basically came up with the aesthetic and all the carvings. He carved like Billy Baloney and Randy and all those guys.
Yeah, I mean, like defined a generation, hands down.
And it was on for a long time. It ran many seasons.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The box set is like huge.
Yeah. You spoke perfectly about the temporal aspect of the time of day when that came on, man.
Yeah.
Like, yep. All right, get ready. You wrap it up. Get outside.
Yeah.
I got a vacuum.
Yep,
I got a vacuum. Get outside.
That's the thing. I always remember, like, so at the end of the episode, he would get on the scooter and like hit the freeway and stuff, and like my mom having the vacuum making us move our feet. Like,
get off the rug.
Yeah, and then always like the smell of like pine saw, like cleaning the coffee table.
They knew how to clear us out. They poisoned us. But that was awesome. I remember getting sad at the end, like, God, now I got it. That's it. Saturday morning's over.
Yep.
But and you would know this. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I couldn't find evidence of this, but it's what I remember. Pee Wee would end, and then WWF would come on. I have a feeling that WWF was 11 o'clock. There was a Saturday morning wrestling that I know I would watch before, like if I had a half hour extra, I'd watch it in the morning.
Yes, there was. Yeah, definitely was.
There was. Okay, so I'm not crazy, right? It was later on in the morning, and it was right around that time. If it was raining, I got to stay in to watch the wrestling. If not, I got kicked outside.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking Pee Wee was 10:30. I always remember that time. That's when things. That's when you're right at the peak, and then it's outside to play on the big wheel.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, great choice.
All right. Yeah, that was my number 6. I feel bad.
Oh, absolutely. I screamed out loud every time they said the secret word.
Yeah, you had to.
Yeah.
So what's your number 6?
Number 6. This was a big one for me. Not too many people remember this one. To me, quintessential 80s. Kid Video. 2 Ds. You remember Kid Video?
Kid Video. I do not think I do.
Okay, Kid Video. It started off awesome. It was like 84. It started off live action. It was a bunch of kids, like cool 80s teenagers, getting ready to go to band practice. They get to band practice. It's like an old house or something. One of them pulls down a sheet in a mirror, and they're sucked into the flip side, where there's like a giant jukebox, and they go against this like big evil overlord kingpin kind of guy. And they had a sidekick who was this little. She was a little fairy in like a jazzercise outfit and a pixie cut. Again, one of my first crushes, her and Daisy Duke from Dukes of Hazzard. Kid Video, classic 80s. That was like an ABC jam. I'm pairing that with one of the greatest 80s cereals of all time. My sisters and I loved it. Ice cream cones. Remember ice cream cones?
I do remember ice cream
and they
cones.
came in 2 flavors. They had the regular ice cream cones and the chocolate ones. But Kid Video and ice cream cones are on this list just because of how completely 80s they were. It could never exist again. It couldn't exist in the 70s. It couldn't exist in the 90s or now. This was quintessential 80s right there. So Kid Video, 2 Ds, and ice cream cones, this cereal. That's my number 6. Stamp it.
Stamped, signed, delivered, and sealed.
Delivered. There you go.
I like it. I'm gonna get into some Kid Video. You said it was called the flip side that they go to?
Yeah, they go to the flip side. So every time I hear somebody say "catch you on the flip side," I'm like, "Oh, Kid Video fan," and they're like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Well, I'm thinking
the intro alone is worth it, Neon Lord. You just check out the intro and you'll get what I'm talking about.
it sounds like flip side needs to be the Neon Lords upside down.
Oh, I'll tell you. Wait till you see this show. It's a total mind freak. It's a really weird concept. The flip side is a very strange place.
I'm all about it. I got it on the list to check out. I mean, it looked familiar. I mean, through my like vast array of watching cartoons or like commercials and stuff. I watch a lot of commercials, and I've definitely seen about it.
Me too. Hey, you know what?
What?
That might be an idea for a show.
What, a commercial? Oh yeah, commercials.
Commercials.
All right, I'm putting it down. Oh damn it! I knew I had something else to talk about on the show notes. It was next week's episode. We'll get to that at the end. Remind me.
Okay. All right.
We'll talk about it at the end. I'll put it on. I'll try to remember. I write it big. All right. So number 5 for me. So this is another. See, I didn't follow any of the rules.
That's all right. It makes it fun.
Because I know for a fact. Well, I don't know. I don't remember if this show. So Super Mario Brothers Super Show, right?
Yeah.
I paired it with the Nintendo cereal system because
Nintendo.
I had to have the cereal. Like,
yep.
You had to have it. It came in a Mario bag and a Zelda bag, and the show worked on the same wavelength. So you had Super Mario Brothers Super Show, you had the live action Mario Brothers beginning to Mario Brothers cartoon Monday through Thursday. On Friday, they played a Zelda cartoon.
Oh, okay.
So the cereal worked the same way. Generally, I did not want to be the guy, which I do it again, unfortunately, but I pair a licensed cereal with the license of the show, because that's low hanging fruit. We're better than that,
Well,
Joey. We're gentlemen.
we're gentlemen over here. We're supposed to be art house, But
Yeah,
to your point, there was also Nintendo. It's a fruit flavored cereal. Guess I worked with a kid who was in that commercial.
awesome.
When I worked at MTV, one of the guys in the cube next to me, Ryan, really nice guy. I don't know how we were on it one day, but somebody found a picture of him, and I went back. This was like before YouTube, and I went in preparation for the show, and I found him, in the commercial. He's one of the kids. Now the cereal had 2 bags, much
Yep.
like the Nerds that came out around the same time, right?
Yep. Same concept as the nerd cereal. Yes.
Now it was Captain Lou. Wasn't Captain Lou, my guy right over here? Wasn't he on the show? He was
Captain
Mario.
Lou was Mario. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what were your thoughts on Captain N?
Captain N and the Game Master was possibly the one that was going to be on this list. I actually paired the cereal with that show first because
Me too.
that was 100% a Saturday morning cartoon show. Super Mario
Absolutely.
Brothers Super Show. I do remember watching it afternoons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like it could be. Well, I already knew it's not because I said about the Mario and the Fridays they showed the Zelda.
This is the Zelda one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
cereal was good. If I remember correctly, I remember the Zelda one. It was kind of like Captain Crunch.
yes, yeah, it had the
Yeah.
Captain Crunch base, and then the Zelda one was green. I'm going simply off of memory on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And I remember like green because like the bushes and stuff in like the Zelda. Then the
Yeah.
Mario had red pieces.
Yes. Yeah. But that was a great theme song. Nintendo. It's a fruit flavored cereal.
Well, yeah, and it's a great concept too. So then you kind of justify it to your parents, like, no, it's got 2 cereals for the price of
2
one.
cereals in one.
But
Absolutely. You're not getting that these days.
but it's not though
A
because
big bag of chips.
they're 2 half bags, so you're not getting
Yeah.
anything any different. But hey, it was a cereal system. It was a whole system.
It's a system. I love how yes, Nintendo cereal system.
Yeah.
Skunkworks. Have you ever seen the clip of the Super Show that allegedly has F-bombs? I've heard about this. I haven't seen the clip.
I haven't. I have not.
Yeah.
I try to get
that's a good choice, man. That's
Yeah.
a good choice.
I try to get the kid into the theme song on that one because that's another great theme song.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, paisans and paisanos, get ready for the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. And it does like the rap. He's not about it.
Yeah, man. That's a big influence, as you could probably tell.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was awesome. That was a good one. Number 5 for me, bringing back your Cookie Crisp,
All right.
which pairs with Hey, hey, hey. Coming at you with it's Bill Cosby coming at you with music and fun. And if you're not careful, you might learn something before you're done. Fat Albert and the Junkyard Gang. I was obsessed with this cartoon as a kid. You got the whole Junkyard Gang plucking away at the Junkyard Band. You got Weird Harold, Dumb Donald, Mushmouth. You got I love character. I like shows with a vast array of main characters. It's like the 7 Dwarves, but that was such a cool show because that show got weird and dark sometimes. Like I remember watching that show and a kid died. Like there was a kid death in that show once, and there was like people that did drugs and what was his name? Mudfoot, the homeless guy. Biz Markie did a song with a Mudfoot sample on it, but I loved that show because it was funny. That was the first. I didn't understand it too. Because that was the first cartoon I ever saw that had a laugh track, which as a kid, like that didn't make any sense to me even as a kid. But I love me some Fat Albert, and similarly when remember Picture Page, when
Picture
Bill
Pages.
would come out, I wanted that pen so bad, and you could send away for it, but I never got it. But that's when that was the old Bill.
That's a whole episode we need to do is stuff we wanted to send away for.
Yeah, very good idea. Absolutely.
There's a ton of stuff.
Yeah, but that's me right there, man. And Cookie Crisp. That just goes with Fat Albert eating cookies for breakfast.
Yeah.
They didn't hide that at all. That stuff was straight sugar. You bite into that, it crumbled like you're eating a sugar cube.
I mean, have you had it? Have you had it like the new formula?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the new formula. It's not
completely
Cookie
yeah.
Crisp.
No, it's not. It's not
I got
Cookie
mad
Crisp.
about that. That's not the same. It's not the same thing. I want the cop and the dog in the bad guy, the burglar. Not this new stuff. The new stuff, you could barely taste back then. That tasted like a damn cookie.
Yeah, absolutely. It was straight little. It was mini cookies in milk.
Yeah,
There's no two ways around it. That's what it was. Now it's
that was
not.
only at my grandparents. My parents never let me have that in my house.
It was very rare when we got it. That's why I paired it with the Thundercats.
Absolutely.
It was
I like that.
a mythical rare, if you will.
The unicorn of Saturdays.
Oh yeah, it's a great white buffalo. So number 4, man, we're burning through this list. We don't usually go this fast.
Yeah, the B marker, Hyper Single Games. I got it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's like, oh man, chat is off the hook tonight.
That's on the hook. All the homies are in the house.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, get your friends to follow. We need followers.
We want to do this full time.
Yeah, I know.
We're tired men. We want to just explore our creative sides. Help us.
Yeah.
Help us.
Speaking of laugh tracks, Scooby-Doo had a laugh track.
Did it?
Yep.
They threw them in on some of them.
Like Flintstones and Jetsons do too, but like, they were adult cartoons that were on during prime time.
I remember watching, sometimes the Jetsons would come on in the morning before school on weekdays, some of those old blocks. That was a good one. Judy.
Yeah.
Judy Jetson, Maron.
Maron. So it's funny.
Judy Jetson's my kumari these days.
It's funny you bring that up because I was watching a cartoon bumper, like a show, I don't even remember what it was. It was like Bobcat Goldthwait playing like this like puppet. It was like he like called it the live action cartoon, like cat or dog or something, and then like his like little shtick was all about like dating Judy Jetson. It was like hilarious.
Wait a second. Was this a TV show?
I think it was a TV show. I thought it was like
there was a show on Fox that was like a cousin to Married with Children. And Bob, he played like a dust bunny that sat on a couch.
No, that's Greg the Bunny.
No, not Greg the Bunny. No. This was a show with Bobcat did the voice of this thing, and it was with a redhead lady that I think he actually ended up marrying.
No,
like
I mean,
girl.
I know what you're talking about with the dust. Oh yeah, it was in the basement with the dust thing, right?
Yeah, I gotta look this up now.
Yeah,
Bobcat.
That's not this show.
That's not it.
No.
Okay.
Because this was for kids. Like it was definitely like bumped around cartoons. I want to say it was like a cartoon. It was on Cartoon Network, so it was like.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
All right.
I'll look it up. It was pretty funny though because then ended up like Judy Jetson dating someone else and he was like getting choked up and stuff. It was like it's like class. It was a real class act.
Judy Jetson and Chitara. Woo!
Oh man!
Can't go wrong there, man.
Baby, Maron.
Oh jeez. Yeah.
Hey, it's a kid show, Joey.
I know. I'm just saying it'd be nice. I'd like to take them out for a veal parm, a little Chianti and veal parm.
Hitting them with the veal, not the eggplant.
Well, that's the new Joey.
Oh, that's right. That wasn't even a joke. That wasn't even a slight. I was saying.
Oh, I understand. No. I told you though. I'm responsible for the majority of veal deaths in the United States from 1979 to 2000. How long have I been meat free? Jeez, I don't know. Just a couple of years, but oh boy, did I love my veal. Yeah.
You ever watch the Goldbergs?
No, everybody asks me that. They say it's a good show. What do you think?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah? So like the dad his favorite food is shrimp parm.
Oh.
So like always what you don't like shrimp parm?
I'd eat it. It just sounds weird. Like, don't get me wrong. I can put away a fish fillet like it's nobody's business. But shrimp parm, I'll give it a shot.
Oh, No, it's good. So
Is it good?
I never had it before the show. I made my wife make me some shrimp parm from watching Goldberg's, and yeah, it's good.
I'll try.
But
I'll
this
give it
is
a
like a
shot.
long
That
time ago
does
now.
sound good. I love myself I love any kind of Italian seafood. The frutta de mare.
Yeah. So
So we're
watch.
eating shrimp parmesan. We went from breakfast cereal to shrimp
Of
parmesan.
course, this is ravioli for Randy. What else are we gonna do?
We're bouncing all around.
There's no rails because we're always gonna be off them.
Absolutely, man. This is a hover train.
Yeah.
We don't need no rails.
No. So Goldberg's highly recommended because it's a lot of references. Like the older brother, his rap name's Big Tasty.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's very good. You'll definitely appreciate it.
They do. I heard they do the '80s right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's definitely worth a shot.
we're getting deep down now here too. And as I'm looking at these, I'm like, oh, do I switch them around? But I'm gonna go with RAW. Rules is written here.
Yep, locked in, locked in.
Locked in. It has been written.
So then what'd you just say? I forgot.
Fat Albert.
Well, that was your number 4, right?
That was my number 5.
Oh, okay. So then my number 4.
Yeah.
So this is where I hit real Ghostbusters.
Okay. Yeah. This actually, right. This was where my real Ghostbusters was.
And then, I mean, if you're gonna watch a spooky show, you got to eat a spooky cereal. And so I went with so I don't know. So when it comes to the monster cereals, obviously I'm a monster cereals. It was bound to happen. Do you want me to put a pin in the monster cereals because I know they're on your
No,
list.
because I put a monster cereal with real Ghostbusters right here in my card.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you have to, right?
I'm dying to hear which one is yours.
Well, I like them all to an extent.
Of course. No. Listen, absolutely. God bless all of them.
but but I got to go with the Count. Count is my number 1.
Ooh, okay. I respect that.
It's because it's classy. It's classy.
It is. It is. You know, the Count is a real gentleman.
Yeah. So when it comes, I mean, he is. He really is. Like,
He is.
that's a
He
whole
never
other.
bothered anybody. He never
Well,
bothered anybody.
no, but they are very mean to Boo Berry. Have you ever watched like the cartoon, like the like
He's my guy.
Frankenberry and Count Chocula like are always like mean to him and like try to like
I go for
give.
the underdog. Yeah.
Well, if you want to,
my guy.
I mean,
Blueberry's my number 1.
you go to the true underdog is Fruit Brute.
Fruit Brute. Yeah. Yummy Mummy.
Yeah, Yummy Mummy is the Fruit Brute of the '90s. So I
Yeah.
do have like a solid place in my heart for the Yummy Mummy because I actually remember it.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
like the reboot in like 2012,
Yeah.
2013 reboot when
Sounds about right.
they did Fruit Brute and Yummy Mummy. Like I got it then. Then this year they did the Monster Mash.
Yeah.
Did you partake in the Monster Mash this year?
You kidding me? My poor family had to sit in a car for 2 hours as they drove around to every Walmart and Target. I was checking stock. I remember, I found it. I didn't find it at Walmart. I found it at Target, and I had to tell the girl. I said, "Listen, it's right here." I was hungry and upset. Listen, you need to help me out. It says it's supposed to be in this aisle. Where is it? We're looking. It was on the end cap.
Yep.
2 people almost lost their life that day.
It was an end cap. It was an end cap item.
Monster Mash is a great idea, but Blueberry's my one. I still got my box upstairs.
Of Monster Mash?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I still have one. I tried to save 2, but the kid's birthday is in October, so then we made them like Monster Mash Rice Krispie treats with the Monster Mash.
That's wonderful.
So like
Wonderful.
I had to sacrifice one of the boxes, but I have a Boo Berry unopened up there, a Monster Mash unopened, and then Captain Crunch Halloween one unopened.
What was the flavor for Halloween Captain Crunch?
It's like I'd have to look at it. It's like ghosts involving ghosts and green stuff.
Now, Count Chocula is like the godfather of the monster cereals.
Yeah, he's definitely the high tier. Everybody loves Count Chocula, which okay, so you got to go back like you either really like fruit flavored cereals or you're not so much of a fan. But like I really like them, but I feel like Count Chocula is a good base.
Yes. Count Chocula does chocolate breakfast cereal right. Count Chocula has the longevity.
It
like
does.
Count Chocula, you didn't have to always wait for Halloween later on to get to Count Chocula was like the evergreen monster cereal.
Yeah, but think about that though too. For years, you could walk down the aisle of a cereal aisle, and see like a Universal monster portrayed on a cereal as a mascot, and that was like awesome. That
Those
doesn't
things were
exist
just
anymore.
no, it doesn't, man. And those things, like the design of those guys were awesome. That is like
Absolutely.
classic cereal art. They should do a book on cereal box art because I really not messing around. I know we're funny and we like all this kitschy stuff, but like as pop art, they're beautiful. I don't know how many blueberries I've cut out of boxes over the years just to save. I just
There,
love the design of them.
there's a show on VH1. I don't remember the name of it, but there's a guy who's obsessed with Blueberry.
Oh
It,
yeah,
you should watch that. I'll link you to that episode. It's hilarious. Like he's like he like dresses in blue, wears like a Blueberry hat, and like
that's awesome.
goes and
Yeah,
buys like 30 boxes of Blueberry. That's like all he eats. But this
Blueberry
is
was my favorite as a kid. Uh, Definitely they changed the formula. There's
on
no
Blueberry.
doubt about it.
I don't
Blueberry,
think
they had
so.
to change the formula.
Count Chocula, I don't think they changed. It's pretty damn close. If they
Count
change,
chocolate tastes the same.
yeah.
Blueberry and Frankenberry to me are not as fruity or sweet as they once were.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I never got Blueberry or Frankenberry as a kid. I was always go to Count Chocula, and then like we got Yummy Mummy when it came out because it was like
Yeah,
weirdly orange. Like you had to try it, right?
yeah,
It
sure.
was like Crystal Pepsi of the cereals. You had to try it.
Oh, Crystal Pepsi. That goes
Do
well
you
with the
remember
grunge.
your first? Do you remember your first Crystal Pepsi?
I do. I got a Crystal Pepsi when I was getting I was getting confirmation, and they made us go to some retreat, and we all got in trouble. Somebody snuck cigarettes on the bus, but I remember I brought a Crystal Pepsi with me. That I got in trouble that weekend. I'll never forget that.
I remember I got we used to go to this bakery with my grandma. It was like Brick House Bakery or something.
Yeah,
Something like, and then they
upstate.
yeah, just where
Yeah,
like Elmira, where like where I'm from and stuff. It was like right down the street from our house, and they had this salt rising bread. I've never seen it anywhere else, but that's this place. That's like they had it, and we got the salt rising bread, and that was a Crystal Pepsi I got there. The first Crystal Pepsi I tried. Took it back to Grandma's Nona's house, cracked it open, and we tried the Crystal Pepsi.
it was good.
It was good. It had a refreshing flavor. Let's see. Okay,
All
so
right, here's the deal, Bry.
yeah.
I just found this out. It's they. Okay, now these cereals, the monster cereals are corn based.
Oh, that makes sense.
They used to be oat based. So there was a change in the formula. Still love them. I'm very listen. Anytime I see those come out, I buy them. I buy 2 of each, and that's that. But there was a formula change. But yeah, so Real Ghostbusters was awesome. I love the Monster of the Week. Yeah, it was always something different. They switched it up. I love the voices. I watched a couple episodes in preparation for this, and those voices brought me back.
Yeah.
Particularly Egon and Venkman.
Venkman was the guy who did Garfield.
Yeah, right.
So like the guy who plays Bill Murray in animation played Garfield, but then Bill Murray plays Garfield like later in life.
Wow.
So full circle right there.
That was a classic, man. That was one that was Saturday mornings, and then I remember also heavily syndicated after school too. That was an after school jam as well, around 3:30.
So
that was really cool.
Toy line, amazing.
Oh,
Got everything came with slime. So,
everything came with slime. You got a little ghost that you could put on the guy's head.
Yep, and then the line where they were scared, where you like squeeze their legs and like their eyes would pop out. Yeah.
Fright features. That was one of the first lines where they just took eventually 6 characters because they had Janine and what's his name? The other guy. The nerd.
Oh, damn it. No.
Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis.
Yeah, I think you had to figure it
Rick
too.
Moranis.
Rick Moranis. They had like, they had fright features. They had like the glow features. They have like, you get them wet and they turn color. That was cool. But they also, man, nothing beat that proton pack. Getting a proton pack and a PKE meter.
Yep.
That was sweet. I remember dying for that. I got that for Christmas one year.
Yeah.
But,
so you want to hear like the times we live in when it comes to Ghostbusters merchandise. So the comic shop I go to down in Syracuse, Larger Than Life, they got a lot of toys. Like I buy a lot of Motu stuff there, and like
yeah.
back issues of Dazzler, like random comic books.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
What, Dazzler?
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
look.
great. I almost bought the trade paperback the other day, the big one.
It's like my girl.
Oh, nice, man. Much respect right there, Bri.
Dazzler. So I have an
You
obsession.
just hit another friendship level, buddy.
Yeah, Dazzler's my favorite. I like.
Oh, I love Dazzler.
Yeah, Dazzler, like Rogue, any 80s X-Men like females. Jubilee's
Female,
like one of my
Jubilee,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah,
I
me
actually
too.
I just
Me
got
too.
in the mail the other day, like the first issue where Jubilee like wore the real like her regular costume.
With the trench coat?
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Anyway, but yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so Larger Than Life. So the kid goes in, you know, he loves like everything like Predator and all that. And
Yeah.
so he wanted the Ghostbusters proton pack. So I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm all about it. So you have
The
to
vintage
buy
one?
No, the new one.
Okay.
You have to buy the pack and the gun part separately.
Really?
Yeah. So and they didn't even have the gun part. So the poor kid's walking around like
With the
wearing
backpack.
wearing the backpack. But then I eventually found him one at Walmart. So we got the we ended up getting the full regalia.
That's
But
awesome.
it took a while. But yeah, I couldn't believe that you had to buy the gun piece separate. But yeah, so the Marvel Legends Dazzler. So I have the X-Men costume one, and then I got the 70s disco right next to it too.
Yeah, the disco one. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
that's
just-
yeah, that's great, man. You get the golden tomato tonight. Wonderful.
Well, and then I should just bust out. Do you ever see the Dazzler Thriller comic?
No, I haven't. Really?
I'll dig. I just packed up my comics to move. Now you're gonna make me dig them
Oh,
out to
man.
show them
Oh,
off. But yeah,
that's cool.
no, yeah, Dazzler's a big Cloak and Dagger too. You Cloak and Dagger fan?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. That's you're hitting my spot when it comes to comics, like that kind of thing. You watch Moon Knight yet?
I have not. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I just watched episode 2. It's crazy.
So-
But how about Filmation's Ghostbusters?
Okay, so yeah,
What are your
I
thoughts on that?
I don't think I've ever actually watched it on purpose.
Yeah, the
So
toys were cool. I got a bunch of toys, Filmation Ghostbusters toys for Christmas at my grandparents' one year. The bad guys are really cool.
I gotta really look into it more. I want to watch the live action, like some of the live action episodes.
What was that, like the 70s?
Yeah, like when like the
Yeah.
Ghostbusters. So we never
Yeah.
really. So yeah, real Ghostbusters. The ghost designs scary.
Yeah, the one that's like I just always get the flash of like the big face
Yeah,
with the teeth.
Yeah,
There's
it's
like
like
a couple of
pink
really
or-
scary episodes.
like they have like great neon saturated
Yeah.
colors on them, and then you had the recurring like arch villain ghost of like the pumpkin head.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to say his name is like Sam Hain.
It is. I think you're exactly right. Those the characters like had personalities. Like all 4 were really, really different in that show, and Venkman just nailed it every time.
Yeah, absolutely, great show. Yep, his name is Sam Hain.
And Janine, another one, man. Janine on the cartoon.
Model.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
like
was into cartoon. I was into cartoon girls long
Apparently.
before real girls.
but long before anime came around for you.
No,
Um,
thank God I didn't have that when I was a kid.
I mean we did Dragon Ball Z, but
Yeah,
that's a whole nother story.
I don't know nothing about it.
So I'm not like this, and I'm not huge into anime. Like I liked anime in the '90s, like Ninja Scroll. I think we probably talked about this. Ninja
Mhm.
Scroll, like Akira, obviously, like like
Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell, big stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so Sunday mornings, Dragon Ball Z came on. But then, like,
Oh,
have
yeah?
Have you ever heard the theme song to that show?
No.
It's got like some like Dragon Force style like wicked guitar solo in it and stuff. Yeah. So like you get like this like there's like a fight part where they're like, throwing punches and like dashing around and like typical anime fight to like guitar solo and the like the
Oh, nice.
yeah, so I was already hooked. So I was very interested in it. That's like my only like really like dive into it was when they would show it in syndication. I mean, like at that point, this was like mid '90s, and like Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Z was like an '80s cartoon. So like at
Yeah.
that point, like I thought it was like brand new, but like it was old as hell back then. But definitely, I don't know if I would watch it now,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it
I know.
was
There's big fans. People love that.
yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. People love Dragon Ball, and then like anime as it is too. But I don't know, I just can't get into anime. Like modern anime just isn't for
I
me.
watch a couple shows with the kids. They like Demon Slayer,
Is that good?
and yeah, Demon Slayer is cool. I do. I'm not into anime in general. It just doesn't do it for me. But uh, we were watching Demon Slayer, and I liked that a lot. And then I was watching Iron Blooded Orphans with my son, and that was cool and intense. Uh, but yeah, some cool stuff there. So Real Ghostbusters, a cornerstone of the
Yeah.
Saturday morning experience.
Yeah.
And then there was Slimer in the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, yeah, they did the Scrappy Doo thing to the old Ghostbusters, huh? Mucked it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No
Slimer the
need.
real Ghostbusters. Well, yeah, because like mascots,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everything had to have a mascot back then. So then like the popular Slimer, like obviously, yeah, we won't even get into it, but yeah, it's
My
a
number 4,
yeah,
Dungeons and Dragons,
okay.
paired with Circus Fun.
It's interesting you bring up Circus Fun. Kaboom
Is
as
it?
it
Is it, Mr. Neon Lord?
Kaboom as it's called now, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
good.
Circus Fun.
That's a great pairing too, because then you got the beginning introduction of the circus or fair or like carnival or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Such a
When
Ray
that
Brad.
show,
Go ahead.
what'd you say?
I was just gonna say how a Ray that's such a Ray Bradbury like introduction.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's just and that introduction, I knew nothing. I didn't know what Dungeons and Dragons was as a kid. That at that age when
Right.
it came out.
Yeah.
As we got deeper into the 80s, that's when all the crazy cool stuff happens. But just as a show, I just thought it was awesome. I loved dark rides. You go on a dark ride, you get transported to another realm, and next thing you know, you get weapons. Once again, you got a team, you got a party, all with different skill sets and personalities. They nailed it. And the dungeon master was the coolest little dude in the world. And that was early on. The toys were very early on, LJN. But I remember having the the Death Knight. What's his name? Yeah, the War Duke. Oh my God, you got him right there. What a beauty. Iconic action figure.
Yeah.
I had the Fortress. I remember I got the Fortress of Fangs.
Oh.
Remember when Toys R Us just had massive clearance aisles, and there was a wall of Fortress of Fangs. Probably got it for $9.99 with the little the hot pink sticker. But I had that for years. I got that in the 90s. That was in the clearance aisle in the 90s. But just overall, a cool thing. You had Tiamat, you had War Duke, you had all sorts of different monsters. And it was just I remember that was just a very golden time in my childhood.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that was just a nice time. I remember that was like a sweet spot in the 80s. That was early 80s, probably around 85, I think. The action figure world couldn't be better. Saturday morning cartoons was at their prime right there.
So like it's interesting you say that about the toys too, because the toys and the cartoon like have nothing to do with each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Except for like War Duke shows up in an episode.
Yep.
And like obviously
War Duke, but that's really about it.
Yeah, like I don't know, like I know like Toy Galaxy talks about it. There's definitely like some kind of like licensing thing. LJN talk about. Do you know anything about LJN when it comes to Nintendo games?
Well, I remember having. I remember very clearly which Nintendo games I had that were LJN. They definitely had their own flavor to them.
They're awful. They're like
I had Gotcha. Remember the paintball
Oh,
Gotcha?
yeah. There's a movie.
Is there really?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty
Uh,
sure. It
I
was
gotta look
Gotcha.
into that. But yeah, the LJN. What were some other ones?
They did Wolverine. They did Silver Surfer. They did the X-Men.
The X-Men. I don't remember I remember the X-Men being kind of cool, right? Couldn't you change characters?
You could, but it was trash. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. I rented Silver Surfer and X-Men the same weekend. Like I got to rent 2 games. That was like the holiest of holy days
Oh
when you
yeah,
could rent
sure. That's
when
a
you were
big
allowed
deal.
to rent 2. So I,
Yeah.
I I doubled down on LJN Marvel license, and I was disappointed both times.
I
Silver
never played
Surfer,
Silver Surfer.
it's freaking hard. It's one of the hardest Nintendo games, like hands down, out there.
Well, I remember when X-Men was a rental as well. That was a hard game too.
Yeah, and
Wasn't
then
that the one where Wolverine would flip out? Like if you used his special too much, he would flip out. Like he'd go into a berserker rage.
it's top down. Graphics are trash. I don't know. I don't remember much about it because like I was scarred as a child for renting it. But they redeemed themselves. Not LJN, but the X-Men, the Genesis X-Men game.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
8 out of 5 Maroons.
I think that's got to be the one I'm thinking about, man.
Probably.
It's got to be. But yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. That was just nice. It was just good. Everything I needed.
So
I like those shows where you're in normal world and then you go into a fantasy world, like Kid Video.
Captain N, the Game Master, does it.
Yeah, right. Same thing. Yeah, I almost said that too. Yeah. So that's that. Circus fun because of the locale. What do you got next?
Number 3. Number 3, I paired the best cereal. This is number 3, mind you. The best cereal ever made with the best animated action cartoons ever made. I had the best and the best. If you got a bowl of this and you're watching this, you're like top of the line right here. This is like the Rolls Royce of cereals and cartoons.
You got me on the hook. You got me on the hook. Reel me in.
Captain Crunch. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, greatest cereal ever made.
I think so.
Yeah, hands down. Everything about it. And Batman.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you.
Okay. And then and Batman the animated series.
Never watched it.
Are you serious?
Never watched
No,
it.
you're lying.
No, I'm not. I got it. So I was watching The Dark Knight again today, and when I searched Batman, it's on there, and I'm like, oh, I said to my wife, I said, I got to start watching this. I bet it's good. I hear it's good.
You've
It
never
used to be
seen
on Fox, right? No, I've never seen it. Never seen
Yes,
it.
it aired. Talk about premieres. It premiered on prime time. Like the first
Did it really?
episode, yeah, the first episode was 8 o'clock at night. I want to say it was August, September, because it was right before back to school. It had to have been.
Okay.
It was that fall lineup, right? So
Yeah.
and it was like he did Man Bat on Leathery Wings, episode 1. He fought Man Bat.
I'm familiar with the style and I'm familiar
Oh.
with the characters and the toys. It looks beautiful. Just for some reason, I never clicked.
Well, think about it.
Gotta
So
watch it.
89 Batman came and went, right? So
Beautiful movie.
yeah.
What a summer.
Yeah, 89 Batman. We get Batman Returns, still good. And then
Yep.
and then between that and then like Christopher Nolan, there's Batman movies that we're not going to talk about. But
We don't
then
talk.
the soundtrack to like the opening like overture or opening credit whatever of the Batman animated series. I don't know if what's his name? Danny Elfman did it, but it is Danny Elfman like
Really?
oh yeah, even the music plays into that 89 Batman feel. And when they did the backgrounds, the painting of all the backgrounds,
Yeah.
you probably know this though. This is like a huge thing for the show. So every cartoon always starts with a white sheet of paper. Batman the animated series, everyone started with a black sheet of paper.
I remember, it's not like I've never seen the show. I've seen clips of it when it was on. Dark. It's very noir.
Yeah, it's got that dark noir feel to it for sure.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. So they started with black, huh?
Yep. So that's why even like in the like it has that look, it has that feel. Every episode has like that definite like Batman the animated series feel.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got the Mark Hamill as Joker is like
As
that's like
Joker. Yep. Yeah. I
yeah.
knew about that. Yeah. Well, I'll hop on that train, man. That does sound cool. I
And
don't
then
know
like
why I love Batman. I absolutely adore Batman.
it's a no brainer. And there's an episode down the line. I don't know which season off the top of my head because that would be ridiculous if I could remember that. But it's like kids are like talking about like Batman like stories. So it's like a an anthology, your favorite, an anthology
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
episode
Yeah.
where they do like a um an Adam West style adventure animated. They do a I don't know what the modern one is. I'll have to rewatch it. But what got me was they did a Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns animated sequence to where it's
Oh, all right.
like the old Batman where he's like but he's like huge and
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
fighting like the Gotham mutants and stuff like
Yeah. Yeah.
it that's like that was like my first foray into like Frank Miller's Batman world as a kid. I was like, what is this? I need to like, figure this out. And then Dark Knight Returns is still one of my favorites to this day.
Yes. Yeah. That is
And,
a great one.
and
All right. I gotta get on this. I am embarrassed I haven't dug deeper into that.
so like yeah, and then like Harley Quinn came from that show. Like it's institutionalized like, what we perceive as Batman for a lot of things
Sure.
too. So highly recommended it. It's a great show. Great show. Like yeah, like Fox started out on Fox, then obviously went to the WB after they picked up the license. But like yeah, aired Prime. It's fantastic. Highly recommend it.
Definitely jump on that. We'll talk about that because my I've always loved Batman, and recently it's been rekindled again. I haven't seen the new movie, but I'm just we did our sequel show, so I watched that again. I watched Batman 2, and then watching the Dark Knight again. So yeah.
So what is your number 3?
Well, speaking of superheroes and Batman,
Okay.
Super Friends. Absolutely loved Super Friends, especially the later episodes where they started to pull in, all sorts of the other guys in the Legion of Doom, the evil superheroes. When they brought out Black Manta and all those other guys, some of the Kirby guys, I absolutely loved that. I'm not exactly sure which version I watched, like, because you have like Super Friends, like Superman and the Super Friends, where it's just like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Right.
But I liked it when they expanded that universe. You saw more Aquaman, and like I said, that the Fortress of Doom, man, that was so awesome. And I was hot on Superpowers toys, the Kenner figures. I couldn't get enough of them with their action. I paired that with Golden Grams. You have an iconic cartoon line, and to me, one of the most iconic breakfast cereals of all time, Golden Grams. And I was bringing up before in the beginning of this because you shared with me the picture that you got. I got the same one, the retro style Golden Grams, which get just as soggy as they did back then, and I love them for that. I like getting a big wad of Golden Graham, like that one big Golden Graham. You just chew it like it's a matzo ball.
Yeah, Golden Grams. I haven't had it. I haven't had the modern iteration, so I couldn't compare the two. But
Yeah,
it definitely tasted like I remember Golden Grams tasting.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's like they're just constant. You always, growing up in the 80s, you always had Superman, and there was just Golden Grams. Or I remember always having Golden Grams in the cabinet. It was a standby.
Super Friends. The only thing I know about Super Friends is meanwhile in the Hall of
Yes.
Justice. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. And we're talking about backgrounds, like all the background paintings, they're great. All those old ones. And man, somebody just did an awesome thing. This is probably from a while ago, but they did a couple of Wu-Tang songs where they put the song over the cartoon, and you can the mouths move perfectly to each member of the Wu-Tang Clan, and the members of the Wu-Tang paired up with the Legion of Doom are perfect. Very, very cool. Like the Riz, I think the Jizza is Lex Luthor. It works out perfectly. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm not a huge DC guy, so like, and like that show's a little. I'm a little too young for that one.
I see.
But
Well,
like,
we're the
yeah,
same age.
are we?
Yeah, I'm 42. What are you?
39.
All right. So yeah, so maybe those you're right. No, because there is a big shift.
There is,
There is a
there
big
is,
shift.
there is.
So yeah, that was early on, man. That was early on in the
Yeah,
day.
I'm aware of it. I've seen some episodes here and there, but like, yeah, I'm not. I was like indoctrinated into Marvel, like with
Yeah,
the Spider-Man and Friends, like same freaking thing, same
yeah,
concept. Spider-Man,
yeah.
and then like well, I don't even remember. Hulk was in it, I think. No,
Oh wait. Are you talking about the 80s ones or the Fox ones?
I don't know. 80s ones I was, but there's like
So that's like
Fires.
Iceman.
Yeah,
That's like
Iceman, right?
Iceman, Spider-Man, and then the Fire Lady,
Yeah,
and
Fire Lady.
sometimes Firestorm. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
not Firestorm. That's DC. But yeah. No, those were awesome. Awesome. Spider-Man and Friends was great. I love seeing the Iceman make his path and go across the city on that. Yeah, that was like around the same time. Basically, any superhero cartoon in the 80s, I loved.
Very cool.
So
So
that was mine. Super Friends with Golden Grams. What's your number two?
my number two is another licensed pair, but I I mean TMNT with the TMNT cereal, specifically the holographic box
I
iteration.
remember the holographic box very well.
Yeah, that was a big deal. I remember. So you got the pizza shaped marshmallow. So of course you got. I mean, it's basically a salad.
Basically a salad. You're having that for breakfast. You're starting off the day right.
Yeah, it came from
Nice.
oats and wheats. But yeah, so like
Yeah. From
yeah,
the
it came with.
farm.
You remember the Ninja Turtle cereal bowl they used to come with, like
Yeah.
shrink
Sure.
wrapped to the
Sure.
outside. That was like the first iteration. So it was like Chex Mix or Chex cereal with marshmallows.
Yes.
But then
Yeah.
like
I remember the kind of shredded pillows. Yeah.
yeah, the shredded pillows they were like nets or something, ninja nets or whatever. But like would encapsulate like a small drop of milk in them, right? And then you would
Yeah.
bite into it, and then it was like a gusher essentially. You would get a little splash of milk. I remember it very
Beautiful.
distinctly. I don't necessarily know. I'm sure like every other Czech cereal probably has this, but yeah, like just the sheer like crunch factor mixed with the milk splash and marshmallows, like those quintessential Lucky Charms esque like they're not marshmallows. It's just they call them marshmallows,
Yeah.
but they're
They
like
call them marshmallows, but they're like
yeah,
compacted sugar. Yeah.
yeah. It's just like you
Marshmallow.
just
Get
like
out of here.
bite into it, and all you hear is the grit.
Yeah. It's like chalk. It's
Yeah.
like sweet chalk. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Like circus peanuts.
oh god, I hate circus peanuts.
They're the worst thing in the world. It's the most horrible color. Like I felt bad for my daughter the other day. We were at the dollar store and I said, pick on any candy you want. And she started to go for the circus peanuts. And I said, no, we don't do those. We don't. She goes, what are these things? I said, don't worry about it. There's many other beautiful things to pick from. We just don't talk. We don't touch circus peanuts.
Yeah, like my grandma really liked circus peanuts, and I think she thought we all did as like grandkids, so she always had them like on deck. So of
The
course,
bowl was always full with circus peanuts.
yeah, so of course you don't disrespect grandma and not
Of
eat
course
the
not. She
so
means well.
yeah, so we scarfed down them circus peanuts like they were going out of style, but I do not like them. So what's your candy corn thoughts then?
I love candy corn. I know
Yeah,
you don't. I
uh,
thought you.
nah, I don't know. I haven't really had it. I disowned candy corn for many years of my life because of the same circus peanuts, like oversaturation of it. But I think I could go back and enjoy a piece or two during Halloween season.
Oh, I can't control myself.
Well,
When I get a bowl of candy corn, watch out. Nobody else is gonna get any. I
let's
destroy it.
let's put a
Destroy.
pin in candy corn for the Halloween special.
Very good. Okay, sure. Absolutely. Remember when do you remember when you first got hit by TMNT? I do. I remember it very vividly.
It's a
I
good
was in
question.
third grade and it's just like something happened. It was a Thursday. I get this weird thing. Sometimes I get photographic memory, and I
Trust
remember
me, it's coming. This is my
yeah,
number one.
it's a Thursday. It was a Thursday, and we had art class with Miss Rankin, and it was like all at once, every kid in that class was drawing turtles.
Yeah, it was weird.
Everybody was like, it was like this bright. It was like nobody ever heard of them. And then all of a sudden, I remember seeing a commercial saying "coming soon," the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that alone, it was Donatello that got me. I like the green and purple thing, and Krang. When I saw Krang in the robot body, boom! But it was like that. It was that Thursday at Fair Harbor School, art class, 3rd grade. Overnight, TMNT took over everything.
Yeah,
Couldn't
it was
get
weird.
enough.
I remember someone had so that original line of toys: the 4 turtles, April, Splinter, Shredder,
Yep.
Foot Clan, Bebop,
Bebop
Rocksteady.
and Rocksteady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember and the Squishy Head Turtles too at that point.
Yep.
So I remember somebody had. Oh, it's funny. I got a Michael, or is that Raph? Oh yeah, Mike. I got a mic right there. Kids were playing with and a Rocksteady right there too. Like
Nice.
they invaded my space. But I remember all of a sudden like somebody had them, and then like the weapons packs that they came with like every weapon under the sun on that blister. So like
Yep.
that was like a big sell. You're like, oh man, this is awesome. Like what is this? Like all of a sudden it was overnight. It was like that.
Well, the format of the toys that was totally new. I mean, that became industry standard for a decade. But that Playmates sculpt, that scale, that was a whole new world too.
Yeah, that's
You know,
exactly.
we were used to the hyper muscle of He-Man,
And
and
then
then the small 3 3/4 of like Superpowers, Secret Wars,
yeah,
and GI Joe. But Playmates, they blew it. That was a whole new thing that is now basically industry standard.
and a line no one wanted.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the source material a lot different than
Right. Yeah, they
yeah,
definitely. Yeah, that's a whole documentary on itself. Is the licensing deal that
yeah,
Playmates, because the guy who went to Eastman and Laird pretty much was like, like I could sell this, and they're like, sure, whatever, kind of like blew it off, and then like he got rejected, 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 and he had a buddy at Playmates, and he sent him, I think a plush doll or something, and then like they figure there's like a whole story. I'm totally butchering it, trying to think about it, but yeah, it's a very interesting story.
they milked that cow till there was nothing left, man. All those the amount of figures, I was just going down the rabbit hole on that, like
Yeah,
just towards the end, how crazy it got.
yeah, like Universal Monster Turtles.
Yeah, yeah. But I saw a crazy one today, didn't even know existed. It was a turtle with a vehicle, and I'm like, what? I got to look it up. It was a strange one. I never knew it existed. Or did it come with a dinosaur? I don't know, but it got
Yeah, I
they
have
took
I have
off the
a
shelf.
couple of the dinosaur ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, TMNT, man, that was Fox Kids, right?
No, I want to say TMNT started on CBS.
It eventually went to Fox, though, didn't it? I thought that was part of the Fox morning lineup.
Could have been.
But that was a special time when that blew up, man. 3rd grade.
Yeah, it was huge. It was like Power Rangers too did the same thing, like where it just like all of a sudden, like was like nothing to like everybody.
Yep.
So TMNT franchises television 87. Ba, 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 ba. Da, 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 da. I don't know where it's gonna tell me this. Production. Yep, yep. Distributor. Sure. Yep. CBS.
PBS
Started on original network CBS. Then went to syndication like after that, obviously.
after that. Yeah. Yeah, that was always on. That was a good one.
Yep. So Ninja Turtles, we've been on a huge, I mean you've seen all my acquisitions lately. We were on a huge Turtles kick in this house right now.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
so,
I'm getting back into that. I've been doing some eBay searches lately.
well, and you got like a Nintendo Switch in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got Shredder's Revenge coming out, like the next beat 'em up Ninja Turtles game, like a
Ooh,
modernized one, and you got the classics game collection coming out too, with like 17
awesome.
games on it. So
17.
yes, yeah,
Wow.
like all the old turtle, like all the old original turtle games are gonna be on like one pack. Like I say Switch, it's probably gonna be multi-platform, but
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to retro gaming, like the Switch is like my go-to modern system. I put everything on my Switch when it comes to like old games.
Can you get I really want to play some old Genesis games
Yep, you can. They got them.
on the Switch?
Yep,
Really? All right. I got to take my kids. Um that was your number 2?
that was my number two.
So my number 2, and it probably should come as no surprise that this was going to be on the list. Thunder the Barbarian.
Yeah,
Absolutely loved that show. I remember the first time I saw it, it was at my great grandmother's house. Uh, and I thought it was like on USA at that point or something. But yeah, Thunder. I was a big fan of the Herculoids,
hmm,
which I think is like a Thunder predecessor. Black Star,
yep,
very awesome as well. But I think Thunder stands on the top of that mountain just because, once again, you had a multitude of villains every week. You got a different person. You got somebody mentioned this up in the chat before too. Let me see where. Yeah, Rex, Rexolapolilius. The building, I know what you're talking about. There's a building that resembles the Legion of Doom hideout almost to a T. But once again, awesome post-apocalyptic. They did a nice job throwing in like, the 80s destroyed. And you got a good team. You got Ukla the Mook. So that's what I'm pairing this, even though it wasn't around the same time, for aesthetic reasons, because Ukla always reminded me of a
Chewbacca.
Reese's, well, Chewbacca, yes, but of a Reese's peanut butter cup because of his colors.
Right.
So I'm pairing this with Reese's Puffs, which I think there was a '90s cereal, but I think it could have had a really good run in the '80s because to me Reese's were just everywhere in the '80s.
Well, yeah, Reese's Pieces made very popular in ET.
E.T. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I just like Thundar, man. Thundar was cool. Thunder had cool villains and cool backgrounds and great animation. And there's humor in it too. There's some tongue-in-cheek stuff. I think it's I don't think it gets the respect it deserves. I
Yeah.
think it was overshadowed by everything else. But that classic, I don't know what it is too, because another one of my favorite cartoons is Johnny Quest, and it just has that kind of look to it, that studio look. Hanna-Barbera, I love that Hanna-Barbera action feel to it.
Yep, absolutely. So like yeah, USA Cartoon Express.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep. So yeah, Herculoids and Thundar. Yeah, in passing as a kid, obviously I've seen a few. I didn't really get into it until my teen years during Adult Swim, or not Adult Swim,
yes,
Cartoon
right, right,
Network's Toonami.
yeah,
When Toonami first started, it wasn't all anime. It was Hanna-Barbera
yes, it
syndication
was.
of all those old ones. And Johnny Quest is a huge one because Johnny Quest actually was another. So like when they rebooted it in the '90s, the first episode of that, which might have been like a movie, they started with a movie,
Yeah, yeah,
was
probably.
was aired at night at like 8 o'clock on a primetime slot as well. It
Johnny
was,
Quest was cool. It didn't,
yeah.
yeah. I love that style of animation. But Thundar, I always thought was cool. Didn't see it a lot as a kid.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I probably can remember maybe 2 or 3 episodes, but it stuck with me. And then to your point, in the '90s when all that stuff came back, that was just so cool. That's when, remember, like when Cartoon Network first started and like Boomerang first started,
Yeah.
like like that was what we didn't even talk about is when you were a kid, you missed them. You weren't going to see them again for a long time.
Nope.
Like it goes without saying. Everybody in the chat probably knows this, but like back then, man, Like you sat down and you watched these because you didn't know if you were going to see him again.
Back in my day.
Yeah, right.
But
Absolutely.
we actually VHS recorded that Johnny Quest movie
Oh yeah.
when it premiered, and yeah, we watched it a lot. My dad really likes Johnny Quest. He likes that like those Hannibal, like Thundar and Herculoids. That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's his
It's a
jam.
certain style.
You know, it's
Well,
funny.
give your father a high five, a royale stamp of approval.
Well, yeah, well, you'll see him in August.
Awesome.
So like you know, it's funny. It was like my whole life, like this is a whole story unto itself. The box of toys at your grandparents' house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
I know exactly. Yeah. Absolutely.
Right? So
Yeah.
in the box of toys, like you ever heard of Vextrex, the video game?
No.
Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But they had a Vextrex. But the box of toys had Star Trek figures in it. Come to find out,
The Playmates ones.
no, the Migos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
so like we were playing with like Kirk, Spock, and like a Klingon, like Migos, our whole like childhood lives, like at the grandparents' house, and not even knowing that like they're actually probably worth like a couple bucks.
Who were they? Your fathers?
Yeah, yeah,
Nice. Oh, that's really cool.
yeah. So so he had the Star Trek Mega or Star Trek Megos. Not a huge. That's Migos, right? Migos. They're like
I've
the
always called them Megos, but I've been corrected recently that they're called Migos.
okay. Well, you know what I'm talking about. The
Yeah,
dolls.
absolutely. Yeah, the 8-inch me. Yeah, absolutely. I
I
missed
actually have a.
those. I don't remember seeing those as a kid, but I've
There's
been picking them up at yard sales when I find them.
Oh, if you find, I need some. If you, I will pay you for some. If you find them,
Who are you looking for?
any. I've been hankered for them. There's one. So there's actually like I don't want to tell this secret out there because someone's gonna go rush to my comic book shop and pick it up. I'm slowly going around to getting it. There's a Deadpool one. They-
Was
it's
that
like
custom?
no, they like I don't know when, like sometime in like the 2000s they made a Deadpool Migo, but it's like a deluxe box when he's in like the red suit, but he comes with
Yeah.
like a wide assortment of like weaponry and like an outfit change and like typical Deadpool fashion. It's like over the top. Like I always like stammered at it. It was like it's like $100. So it's like, man, do I really want to pay $100 for this? But now, of course, like I don't go to that shop anymore because of COVID. Like he's not open really up to the public. It's kind of like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you gotta know what you want. Oh, there's like a
Yeah.
random. So like um I haven't gone around to getting it, but I might find it online and find it probably a lot cheaper than $100. But yeah, like Migos, like if you can find any, like obviously like I'll greatly take them. I have like the Toxic Avenger one that they kind of put out.
Oh, the new ones. Yeah, the new ones are pretty cool. There's
Yeah.
a Figures Toy Company online.
Uh-huh.
So I got to show you. Okay, at the end of the show, I got to show you something that I do. I make my own Migos uh, of characters that don't actually exist. That was one of my first toy customization things. I won't do it tonight. I'll show you some other time. But I have a box. I actually did Johnny Quest Migos.
Oh,
I have
awesome.
a Race Bannon and a Dr. Quest Migo that I made. Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you sometime. But they're just in the other room. But I love that stuff. I've always wanted to kiss Migos, but
I always wanted any Migo I could get my hands on. Because, like, think about the ultimate license deal. They had everything. It
yep.
was the Funko Pop of the
They had
70s, right?
Welcome Back, Cotter,
Yeah.
Our Gang, Starsky and Hutch, Captain and Tennille. They had everybody, and now they keep on going.
They
I
still make
like
them?
yeah, they're at Target. I saw the reptile lady from a Hammer film.
Oh, yeah.
They
You're
got
right.
they got everybody. They're still making Kiss figures. They're coming out with monsters, Hammer film monsters, Universal monsters. Sure, they just started to come out with them again. Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, it's a little much.
It is. I like the old school ones. So
Yeah,
that's my
whatever.
number 2, Thundar.
Number one. Do you have like, you could go first on your number one because my number one, it's like a long story.
All right. My number 1 is just an evergreen, man. Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo. Once again, monster of the week.
Yep.
You got a party of characters.
Yep.
I'm pairing this with the classics of all classics, at least in my house when I was a kid, Honey Nut Cheerios. Honey Nut Cheerios and Scooby-Doo.
Honey Nut Cheerios. Honey Nut Cheerios. That's the okay, yeah. Cheerios.
With the
Cheerios.
B.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
the
with the
B.
B.
Yeah.
He's not around
I never,
anymore though.
I don't eat the other Cheerios. The other Cheerios are just plain. These were the nice, crusty, sugary ones.
You ever have frosted Cheerios?
I've had them before, yeah. But to me, Honey Nut Cheerios is what started it all. So it just, we always had Honey Nut Cheerios was the number one, was next to the Golden Grams, but it was always Cheerios. Cheerios were always in the cabinet, and it seemed as if Scooby-Doo was always on, no matter what time of day. I am not talking about Scrappy-Doo, because although Scrappy was a funny little wise guy, the monsters were real, and I didn't like that. I thought that was cheap.
So well, yeah, but that was cool though. They like opened that Pandora's box of monsters.
Yeah. So, right. That was like Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts or something like that. That was another series. I liked that series. And there was like a Vincent Price had something to do with that too.
Yeah, he was.
But I liked the reveal. Like the classic, I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you. Like I liked trying to figure out who was the bad guy. They always gave you a red herring, and then there was then the actual bad guy. So
yeah.
I just loved it. I mean, those creatures are iconic. Once again, the backgrounds. So what I do, I'll show you in a minute. I got the Migos I make. I would take the backgrounds, the paintings, and those are the backgrounds for my packaging from Scooby-Doo, because they're so awesome and iconic.
Scooby-Doo. Yeah. Great stuff. So like quintessential Hanna-Barbera, I'd say probably their flagship title.
Yep. I love the sandwiches too. That Shaggy would always make the big sandwiches.
Batman.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You had Batman and Robin. You had
Monkeys.
Mama Cash. You had Cass Elliot on there. Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
Phyllis Diller. It was the who's who of your parent shows.
Yeah. Gilligan.
Right. Forgot about Gilligan.
What did I do? Monkeys were on there.
Were the monkeys on there? How about, was the Three Stooges on there too?
I guarantee they were.
I think so.
Here's an interesting thing about the Three Stooges, actually, that just came into my life. So we went to this indoor water park, like we were talking about, like downstate a little bit, and they had an arcade there, right? And I love arcades, sucker for an arcade. Kid loves arcades.
Sure.
They had, like Whack-A-Mole. They had a Three Stooges Whack-A-Mole.
Wow, really?
And I'm like, what kid is gonna know who these people are anymore, or even care who the Three Stooges are? Like, even like why did they have such a resurgence in the 80s and 90s?
I loved them. I ate them up, man. That was one of the things I would wake up early for. Three Stooges and Little Rascals. I loved them. But yeah, what was it? I think it's that cycle. It's like that 30-year cycle, 40-year cycle.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense because like people our age now, back then, they would be Ravioli for Randy talking about Three Stooges and stuff.
Exactly. Well, that's why Nickelodeon. Remember Nickelodeon? Like in the morning, they used to show the old Lassies and the old Dennis the Menace. God. It was the same thing.
So I hated those shows. I hated that. And then like Dennis the Menace was always funny because the mom would go to the phone and like crank it, like like talking to hear, like have the earpiece and like cranking the phone. I always thought that was hilarious.
The old ass phone back then, like the farmer phone. Yeah.
Yeah. So like but Scooby-Doo, Wacky Races.
Oh yeah, Wacky Races.
You got
what is it? Dirk Dastardly. The Wacky Races were really cool.
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera was the MCU before the MCU even could think about it.
Well, they had that show where it was like the world of Hanna-Barbera, and it was like you never knew what you were going to get. It was like Herculoids, Hawkman, Birdman,
Blue Falcon, Dynamite,
and then Shazam. It was like the Big Genie.
Yeah, Captain Caveman.
And then the Galaxy Trio. I loved. One guy could turn into gas. One guy was like rock.
Space
Remember
Ghost.
the old Space Ghost, and I think part of that too was Fantastic Four. Like the old, like 1960s Fantastic Four cartoon was on there too.
Maybe
That was really good stuff.
Yeah.
Submariner, Namor the Submariner.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Hanna-Barbera was definitely pretty awesome. Even like back then, you knew like there's something special for sure. That studio had that look.
Yeah. Snagglepuss was my all-time favorite.
Which
Snagglepuss.
what's
Exit
the
stage right
yeah,
even.
yeah. And then Huckleberry Hound.
Huckleberry Hound. Yeah, the little blue guy. Those
Yeah.
were awesome, man. Huckleberry Hound. What's his name? I don't know if Chili Willy was part of it too, the little
Oh,
penguin.
my name is Chili Willy. Yeah, it was like I think he was Mr. Magoo. I think he was in.
Oh, I love Mr. Are you kidding me? I am Mr. Magoo. When these shows, hey, I'll just let you in, whoever's watching. I can't see. Every time we do this show, I got to take my glasses off and put on my secret mask for my powers. I can't see anything. That's why I'm always leaning in. But they call me Mr. Magoo. My family, the way I drive them because I can't see, loved Mr. Magoo.
Yeah. Oh, who played him?
Better than an elderly, visually impaired children's show.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like he had that like like Mr. Howell look to him too.
Well, that was Jim. What's his name? He was Mr.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Same guy. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gilligan's Island. What a show. How come they never like remade Gilligan's Island?
Because why would you? It's beautiful.
Yeah, but like
it's got everything you need.
Yeah, but like I know, but like for like a younger audience, you know what I'm saying? Like bring back Gilligan's Island.
I see. Yeah, actually, you're right. It's a really good premise. Even now, they could do that. That's a good
they could
premise.
do it in space.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, I'm writing down the pilot script.
Yeah, why not?
Gilligan's Planet. Oh, there is a Gilligan's Planet.
Gilligan's Planet?
Yeah, it's a cartoon.
Wow.
This did happen. I forgot. See, I knew it already happened.
He was in space?
Yeah, in '82, one season. Gilligan's Planet.
You know what's terrible?
What?
The Three Stooges cartoon.
I guarantee it's terrible. I'm not.
As soon as you take, they don't even have Shemp in it. I love Shemp and I love Curly. But as soon as you throw in that idiot, Curly Joe Dorita, forget it. I'm out of here. I want nothing to do with that guy.
I don't even know any of this.
If there's no Shemp or no regular Curly, because Curly pretty early on had a stroke and they couldn't use him anymore. And then they have Shemp, and I'm a big Shemp fan. But then they got rid of Shemp and they had this guy who was not even, I can't stand, he's not even funny. He gets me mad even talking about it.
Yeah, you're on a Three Stooges tangent right now.
I love Three Stooges. I think my birthday, November 15th, National Three Stooges Day.
Interesting.
I read it on a poster somewhere in a restaurant at a ground round or something once.
Yeah.
Number one, my man. I can't wait to hear this.
Oh, all right. So let me set you a picture here. October 30th, 1992, to be exact. October 30th was a Friday. I was at a sleepover, pre-Halloween sleepover. We were watching USA's Up All Night with Rhonda Shear. First time I've ever watched A Nightmare on Elm Street. Right?
Oh,
because
wow.
you remember I talked about how deathly afraid of Freddy I was, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at this point I was 10, right? 10 years old. It's about time. About time to put on the big boy pants and watch a Freddy. Hey, it's on USA. How bad can it be, right?
Yeah. You have to. You can't turn away from that.
Yep. So I survived the night of watching Freddy's into the Halloween of '92. And then my dad came and picked me up from Adam Tellick's house down a couple blocks away. Stopped at McDonald's and got that McDonald's pancake breakfast. Right?
I love this story.
So this is like my favorite memory as a kid. This is by far my favorite memory as a kid.
Excuse me for 1 second. What was the kid's name?
Adam Tellick.
Tellick, because we had an Aaron Stellick.
Okay, go ahead. I'm still friends with him on Facebook, so he probably doesn't remember any of this. But like, this is like photographic. This is like I can remember the smell of everything.
This is why we do it, my man. This is why we do it.
I know this is what this story is what spawned this episode, and it could have spawned realistically a lot of my life is in this episode. So yeah, so we get the home. I got the. I've been waiting for this too. This is the series premiere on October 30th, 1992 of this show. It was like one of the greatest shows of all time. Still to this day, phenomenal soundtrack. I had the McDonald's pancakes, the flapjacks with it. And then, we watched some Saturday morning cartoons, watched this one, and then I got to go to Toys R Us on Halloween. I got to go to Toys R Us, right?
Wow.
And
What a
then
day.
oh, yeah, and then I don't know like what happened, but yeah, it was a day, and then I don't know if like nobody died, but like it was one of those days, right? You know what I'm saying? As a kid, like spoiled rotten
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
Halloween for some reason. My dad took me and my sister,
Nobody died.
and then we got the Spider-Man Revenge of the Sinister Six Nintendo game too that day, same day. So it all started out after the that sleepover watching Freddy with the McDonald's was the series premiere of the X-Men animated series.
I told my wife 3 days ago, I bet his number one is going to be X-Men.
Yeah, changed my life. Everything about this show. The 90s X-Men, Jim Lee run.
Yeah.
This is what started a generation. Everything about this show down to that
The Danger Room,
Danger Room.
the cast of characters that they introduced.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
That Beast is iconic to me.
Beast
That's
is
like one of my
iconic.
favorite iterations of the Beast.
The voice actor who did Logan, like
Yeah.
no one else can do that.
The colors.
Oh,
I mean, that defined Fox Kids for me going forward. Like that was their flagship.
Yeah, and then like just like actual comic runs, like they did the Dark Phoenix saga, like on the show.
I didn't know that. Did they really?
Yeah, yep. And they run everything. Cable shows up, Deadpool shows up.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that they were digging deep in the toolbox of characters.
Oh yeah, every like good X-Men character. Mojo shows up. Shatterstar, I believe, is probably there. Longshot's definitely if they do Mojo verse. But yeah, like great show. Like didn't take its like still had a little bit of humor, but like definitely like took itself serious. Like
dude, somebody just said Skunkworks said if someone likes Gambit, they watch the animated series.
Absolutely.
I remember getting my sister in the eye with a playing card because of that cartoon.
I had
my neighbor was masterful at it. Throwing the cards. I got her good at a Bradley's, and I remember I cut her accidentally.
You remember back then you used to be able to buy like kids posters in like them cheap plastic gold frames.
Yeah.
Like at carnivals and stuff, right? They always have them.
Sure.
I had a Gambit one in my room, from this show.
So awesome.
Yeah, and like great figure.
Awesome.
So like the toy line, the Toy Biz X-Men Marvel line, phenomenal.
We were hungry. I'm speaking for myself. I was hungry for superhero action figures. We were in a lull. All right. All of the great lines had failed. Were done. G.I. Joe was getting neon and not in a good way. They were just kind of.
I kind of like those ones, like the Eco Warriors.
No, after the Eco Warriors
or the aliens. There's like aliens, right?
Like Star Brigade and stuff like that. Yeah, I got some of the alien stuff. It just G.I. Joe was changing.
Right. Yeah.
And I was getting older.
Right.
He-Man was gone. Secret Wars and Super Friends. I remember I wanted those back again. We had moved. I had sold them in the yard sale. And then the Toy Biz came back.
Yeah.
Or came out.
Right.
And all of a sudden you could buy a Wolverine figure. I remember Iceman. Iceman was the first see-through action figure I ever saw. That was awesome.
Every toy had a gimmick. Like the Wolverine had retractable claws. His mask came off. Yep. And then Cyclops actually like his eye beam lit up.
Yeah, he lit up.
Yeah.
He lit up. Colossus could reach the stuff.
Bend rebar, I think, right? Didn't he have a rebar he could bend?
Then you got they went on. I looked this up the other day. Like I don't even know how many hundreds
Yeah.
of characters. I don't even think I'm exaggerating. At over 100 original like individual characters.
Mm-hmm.
If
Everybody
you
got a
read
figure.
X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force, the figure came. They had the figure. They broke. I'll tell you that. They were not well made. I loved them, but I broke a lot of them.
Yeah, that's when he iced over. Skunkworks talking about what's the story where you find out the Iceman's Omega level. That's when he iced over because Bobby Drake could go. He
Ooh.
wasn't Iceman. He was Iceman, but like he didn't look icy, for a long time.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, then he pushed his powers and then he iced over and then he couldn't go back.
Oh, I remember he's Luau Lou. What's up, Luau Lou? He's in the chat. All right. Yeah, the Toy Biz 10 inches.
Oh, we're getting we got another follower. All right, we're getting people. People are following.
Hello, Hollywood.
Here we go. Lou, what's up, baby?
Yeah, man. The Toy Biz, they just went right. They just open up the door. Give us the license. We'll do it like boom, 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 boom.
They're always on sale at KB Toys too.
Two for $5.99. Yeah, 3 for $5.99, something like that.
Yeah, something wild. I remember one birthday, I went to Hills Bradley's, back then. I don't remember which one it was at that time. Same store, which actually there's a video of people going through the abandoned store, like a couple actual location, my location, like a couple months back. I'll have to send it to you. But I bought a gross amount. You remember stone protectors?
Of course I do. The trolls?
Yeah, I got one floating around, but that was the same year. I got like Toxie that year, I think too. And it was like an action figure extravaganza, a Lollapalooza, if you will. And then with like my money, like hard-earned birthday monies, I went and I went ham on the X-Men figures. I got like every single one I wanted. Like I wish I still had my Cable too, because Cable's like one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
And man, that figure was dope. He had like a grossly huge like Rob Liefeld looking gun that had like a Gatling mechanism that would spin, not like on its own, but like you could spin it with your finger. But yeah, like great figures.
I had a Deathlock figure where you could like take out take out his brain.
Yeah, I almost bought a Deathlock mint on card on eBay the other day.
There was and Weapon X. I didn't know what the hell that was.
That figure. Yep. Wow. That figure had the helmet and it had the I had that one. That was part of the frenzy.
He had the helmet and all the tubing, the wires. That was crazy.
And then I had the Archangel one.
Oh, the Archangel one where the missile shot out of the wing?
Yep, missile shot out of the wings. Yep, exactly. And that was like when Aliens versus Predator figures started getting hot too. So I remember like having the Archangel and a Predator figure at the same time, like fighting them.
Now, when the X-Men came out, that was also the same time it might have been a little bit before of the Toy Biz, your basic Marvels, where they finally had a Hulk figure, and you'd bend the bar. You had Punisher. Remember, like the Graybacks, like they came out with them again now. They're trying to do the nice versions of them, but like the Venom with slime pores and
the Venom I had, you would pull a lever and his tongue would come like a gross.
Yeah. I had that one too.
Yeah.
You know what I had too? I had the giant. I had a giant Venom. Remember they had like the Hulk, Spider-Man, and giant Venom. I had that for years.
Well, no, see, you're that's like third tier. The original Giants, which I had, which were random, I got it for Christmas from my grandma. I remember opening them up. Sabretooth and Cyclops.
Like I'm talking like
12 inches.
No, remember the giant turtles?
Oh, how like you talking bigger than 12 inches?
I'm talking bigger than 12 inches. These things were massive. They had the Hulk, they had Venom, and it was a beautiful figure. Hulk, Venom, and I believe Spider-Man. And these were massive. These were TMNT size.
Oh,
giant.
Yeah, I'm not tracking those. I remember the 12-inch ones. No, they
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
be
yeah.
bigger than 12-inch. Maybe like 14-inch. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
know
like
what you're talking about. Like they had Omega Supreme or Omega Red, and they had they went nuts.
eventually,
Like they had like
eventually, yeah.
every size, every figure.
Yeah, then
Uh,
then I was picking up like, and then in high school I was picking up like Cosmic Spider-Man, like
right.
and that size and stuff, which he it's funny, so like, I mean, I got kids now, obviously.
Yeah.
And my we talk about the box of toys at grandparents' house, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I dug out my Secret Wars Spider-Man out of that box and I took it because like that's mine. Like, that's not
So
saying it.
awesome.
Yeah. So Earthworm Jim figures are in there. um, giant sized Cosmic Spider-Man was in there. It just like, what else was in there? I'd have to go. I gotta go look. But yes, like random figures that stood the test of time through like at my parents' house
Yeah.
are still
Luau
there.
Lou just brought up something I had totally forgot about, and I had him. The 8-inch Mego like Marvel figures that Toy Biz came out with. They were always at KB. And I
That's what I'm
remember
talking.
I got a
8-inch.
Daredevil one.
Yeah, that's the Cosmic Spider-Man ones I had.
You
I
could
had.
send away for Aunt May. Like you send in proofs of purchases, you could get like an Aunt May figure.
Oh, you tracking the Aunt May figure? The face on that, it's like notoriously bad sculpt.
Is it I never saw it.
You should Google it. So let's see. Skunkwork says only X-Men figure I had was the Sentinel.
Sentinel.
Had retractable wire extended. Yeah, I never got the Sentinel, but I remember that was one to have because that's the Night of the Sentinels, episode 1 of the X-Men
I
show.
remember that.
It was a two-parter. And
They
they killed Morphoff in the first episode.
did they really?
Hmm?
Man, I gotta go back to that. And now I gotta dig deep down, man. Like it was just crazy. I have never seen a toy line other than TMNT that went so far down the character hole.
Well, see, that's the thing. That's the interesting about the TMNT. They made so many IPs for the line rather than
Yep.
X-Men. X-Men could just pull from the
We
comic.
already had it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
Yeah,
don't get
they
me wrong. Like,
every single one.
yeah, I mean, Turtles obviously had like the comics that they could pull from too, but there was not much compared to X-Men.
Now, X-Men, those prices aren't, I got to look it up. I don't know. It seems like everything is going nuts with the action figures lately. But I wonder what the prices are like on those right now.
I think you can get them pretty good. I know my buddy Eric Webb, he goes to like some Texas play, or he lives in Texas, obviously. He
Yeah.
goes to some secondhand store and picks me up like some figures every once in a while, and sends them up, and then we trade. And I send him like I got a faker for him, like the 2022 faker.
Yeah.
So I got him
I'll
one
tell
of
you
those.
what,
Yeah.
Toxic Crusaders through the roof.
Oh, I know. I know.
Woo!
Trust me. I had so many Toxic Crusaders. I had pretty much half the line.
Yeah, me too. I don't have any more. I got the two-headed guy and I got Toxie, but I
Yeah.
couldn't believe the prices of those going up, man.
Yeah, the only one I got is this surviving Toxie right here.
Yep.
That's it. And it's not even mine. Well, I mean, it is now, but like it's not my original.
They got weird. Like I remember the tank, that what was the half tank guy
Yeah.
in the X-Men. You know what I'm talking about? It was like a torso on a tank.
Yeah, he had tank legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just hit everything. They had, like gift boxes and all that, but that was a classic time. That was the last. It's seemingly like the last breath of Saturday morning cartoons as we knew it.
X-Men?
That Fox block. Pretty soon after that, there wasn't much.
Well, yeah. So then, like we were talking about before school, I would watch the Transformers, the I don't even know what it was called, where there were dinosaurs,
Yes.
Primal,
Yeah.
Optimus Primal,
Like
Beast Wars,
graphics. Beast Wars. Yeah.
yeah, and then Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. I remember that
Yep.
being before school. Do you so you were in the New York area? Do you remember Steam Pipe Alley?
Of course. It's Steam Pipe Alley with Mario Cantone.
Yeah, what
Of
a
course, I
show!
brought that up before. I didn't
Yeah.
think. I thought people would think I'm nuts. Of course, I remember Steam Pipe Alley. I
What-
love Steam Pipe Alley.
Yeah, me too. I wonder if there's got to be episodes on YouTube, right?
Yeah, there's got to be. I mean, Mario Cantone, he got famous with like Sex in the City and stuff like that. So that's got to be on there. Of course, I remember Steam Pipe Ballad.
I mean, if you didn't live in like the New York area, you probably don't know about it though, right?
Yeah, it was like WPIX 11 or WOR Channel 9. It was one of the New York, New Jersey stations.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to be on that show so bad because he was in a sewer.
Yep, exactly. I mean, oh my God, this chat is going like nuts tonight. What do we got?
Sectors.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, Sectors maybe before your time is a set of action figures I wish I had. Yeah, I had the King, the Prince guy on the fly. I had
On the fly. Yeah. Hey, they're coming back out. And I'm not talking like the Zika ones. Like they just came out with ones, but they just made an announcement. The people that made the Toys Who Made Us are re-releasing, or I don't know, I don't want to say re-releasing. They are reinvigorating the Sectors line. So we're going to see Sectors again, which is Tim Clark made Sectors, also made Boglins.
Right. Yeah. Pretty much same technology.
Yeah. Yeah. Hand puppets.
Yeah. Oh man, you can see my two Boglins sitting right behind me.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. So like, I'm chomping at the bit. I want to open one. I've always wanted a Boglin as a kid. There was the two toys I never got. Well, amongst many, but these are like the ones we're talking about right now. Boglin and My Pet Monster. I always wanted
My Pet Monster. Me too. Never got My Pet Monster.
And then, as you know, with some disposable income as an adult, what do? I go on eBay to try to find one. Outrageous prices.
Forget about it. You're not gonna no. And like they flake and all that to you. The cuffs are already just going. You know what I did have? I had a mini My Pet Monster.
I got the Funko Pop. That was like, I was like, all right, I'll settle for that.
This was a sub line of there was 3 mini like pet kind of thing.
Yeah, I know.
And they
exactly.
like fangs. They're like little dogs. I had that. What I always wanted was My Pet Monster and Rude Ralph.
Yeah, Rude Ralph.
With the eyeball. Yep. I remember seeing that too, man. Seeing that on the shelf. Toys R Us, the clearance aisle, man. Even in the 90s, they had all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I just never got a My Pet Monster because, like, I mean, as a kid, I don't know. I wanted one, but like, I don't know. I never got it. Just never.
They weren't cheap.
No, I know they weren't cheep. They weren't. I know they
were
weren't cheap.
$30 in the 80s, relatively speaking. I don't know what was that with inflation, like $50, but they were expensive. Sectors, I remember being expensive too.
Well, yeah, but the biggest thing is when like the Nintendo Entertainment System hit. That's all I cared about.
I was just getting those. I was getting those left and right. That's when my toy buying dropped off a bit. I was still getting G.I. Joes, Nintendos. I remember I went in big with Cops and Crooks.
Yeah.
Those were cool. That was all around that same time. But yeah, I never knew anybody who had the flag Skunk Works.
So I got a buddy who his claim to fame is like I knew him in college, but he said his claim to fame is he had the flag and he had to like call his mom up because I didn't believe him. He was like, "Mom,
tell him I got it."
Yeah, I was like, "No, you did not have the SS flag, the USS."
I remember the Hive. The Hive was in Toys R Us for a long time. The giant Sectors for it. Oh, and man, I kicked myself a couple years ago. I went to. It's probably going to be the best estate sale I've ever went to in my life. I just literally took an arm and went like this into a box and, battle beasts, wheeled warriors, some superpowers, tons. It was stupid. It was stupid what I got for $40. But I couldn't. They had a Hive. And I couldn't fit it in my car, and I had blown all my money. The guy was probably selling it for $10. I probably could have got it for free, but I never realized going up to it how thin it was. It was it wasn't the best quality, which probably makes it so expensive. But yeah, I never got that.
Yeah, it's like the Planet of the Apes, like Treehouse Village.
Yeah, right. So yeah.
Daka Flocka.
Oh man, he's there. Everybody's bringing up toys now. They're gonna keep me up till 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, they're
Mighty Max
about a toy.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
Mighty Max is like I've gone back. And there's like the wolf ship one. I've gone back and I've looked at them now for inspiration for Neon Lords, But like as a kid, I never got into them. I remember I distinctly remember the cartoon. There's a cartoon we watched. I was interested in the line, great line, but never bit the bullet on it. I don't know.
I
I mean,
I
there's too
got a
many
couple
toys.
of I got a couple of them. I think it was my age at the time. I was getting a little bit older. I still bought them. I really like the really small ones too. I remember my sister had all the Polly Pockets, but that was a really cool creative toy line. You get a play set and a couple of figures all wrapped up together. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah, he wrote Mighty Max was my first solo RPG experience. That's true in so many ways.
yeah.
But
Oh, damn! I just had a tiny turtle, tiny Ninja Turtle from one. I had a
oh, they had that. And remember the Star Wars ones that Micro Machines did?
yeah,
They were
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. That was
They were
like
so cool.
the power of the Force.
That
The
you could open up like what their heads, like a R2D2 head, and like it was, and then they also like the little Sarlacc pit. Like that was really cool. There was a time where everything was miniaturized, and my son is hot on that stuff.
yeah,
He
that's
gets
like
all of that stuff,
we were
the
just
tiny
talking.
stuff.
Yeah, we were just talking about that yesterday. We were looking in the toy aisle because like when my niece was little, she's 16 now. Everything was like rubber, like erasers, mini like Japanese erasers and
Japanese
stuff.
erasers, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So like, and then back then we are always like, oh, like why is like everything? Why are kids obsessed with tiny things now? But it's like we were obsessed with tiny things too. Like we had all the
Absolutely
tiny stuff. Like tiny stuff like doesn't go out of style.
timeless. Now
Well,
they have
yeah,
the
I mean
world's
like
smallest. My son can't get enough of those. The world's smallest act, like that. He's got a tiny snake eyes.
yeah. So I've been getting yeah, I know. I've been getting into it. I've been trying to buy them like because I'm a sucker for a blind pack.
Me too. Me too. As
And then
much as I think it's scamming little kids, I'm a sucker
oh,
for them.
absolutely, it's scamming little kids. So, I've been trying the world's smallest. I've been trying to get a like a He-Man or a Skeletor, right?
Yeah,
Obviously, I got a Stretch Armstrong so far, and
awesome.
then I hit a Uno deck, and then I was done. I'm like, nope.
They
Like,
got the magic. Good. The blind bag ones.
yeah.
Yeah. They got world's smallest magic. I was at Target today, and they got Garbage Pail Kids again. The little minis
Oh,
comes with
do
two.
they?
Yep, those are back in little cans. And then they got I love the Wacky Packages
Yeah,
products,
they got
like the
wacky.
tiny mini ones, and they're like the old school ones. They're like the 70s, 80s ones.
Yeah, they're talking about Muscle Men. Yeah, we talk.
Oh man, guess what I'm doing tomorrow? I got my paints out. I bought neon paints today, neon acrylics. I'm gonna hit up some of my muscle men, give them the neon lord treatment, see what I come up with.
Yeah, I'll tomorrow I'll send you pictures of like so like yeah like Gore Lords is like they make muscle men, so I use those. I use the Super 7 muscle men, the Motu and the Super Shark ones, and I have some original muscle men painted up. I bought monsters in my pockets to try,
They're
but
not gonna.
for two reasons. They're not going to do it. Obviously, you know the one because they're not the material is super
Right.
rubbery, and two, they are freaking expensive.
What happened with monsters in my pocket? Like
Insane prices.
I had piles and you couldn't give those things away.
No.
I was already too old. I remember distinctly. I bought them in sixth grade, and it was just at that point it just seemed like a little bit too old. But I loved them. I got them. I went up to like series 3 when they got neon and weird. But yeah, those are going to be hard to paint.
Yeah, I'm not painting them. I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna keep them. Like I had 'em- remember I had them in the ghoulie in the toilet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep them like that.
And then I sent you the thing. They have the Toxic Crusaders Keshi. I didn't even realize that.
Yep, I'm gonna have to buy those and paint them up. Hope do they have a flesh? I'll look it up, but yeah,
I think
that's
they do have some flesh ones.
because the
You got to
flesh
buy them in
ones.
2 packs.
Yeah, that's what I did. So the Gore Lords I bought. I had the whole line.
Oh, awesome.
I had the whole
So
line
awesome.
before on the wall, like way over there.
Yeah.
And then I didn't want to bust them out to paint, so I rebought the line in flesh to paint them up, and they're a blast. Like they have some awesome sculpts. They
Yes, they
even
do.
have like a Killbot from Chopping Mall looking one.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw that. The chopping mall one. That's exactly what it is. And then you get the Zodiac Killer. bag head guy that you were painting up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was in the cards that I finally got my VHS copy of Chopping Mall the other day.
Awesome.
I'm so
Awesome.
happy. Lightning Video, which is weird. Lightning Video, like labels on the tapes. I know this is such an off rail, but like they don't stick. I gotta figure like they come off.
They come off.
Yeah, because my Toxic Avenger Lightning Video did the same thing. I think I just
It's
gotta.
it's surprising what Elmer's glue and a little bit of water
I was
to
gonna. I was
stuff like that.
thinking about using just a glue stick, trying a
A
glue
glue
stick.
stick. Yeah. I used to go too far down with the glue to fix things like that, packaging and all that. And I've come to find out that the sticks are really good.
Yeah, so bringing up, oh man, don't even get me started on vending machines.
Oh, I know that's a whole other episode, my man.
Yeah, they're talking about homies. There's actually a documentary on a guy who lost millions of dollars on homies.
Oh, that's sad. Really?
I think I
I mean,
don't know,
it's definitely a documentary I would definitely
but
watch. Possibly
I don't
three
think
times.
I don't think he was like buying them. He like went broke buying them. He was like he was selling them. He was like he was the vending guy.
Really, I thought it was such a cool idea. But oh man, well that was a good that these are some good lists, man.
Yeah, it was a great list. Like it was a lot easier than at first I thought it was going to be daunting. I'm like, oh my god, I'm never going to figure this out. But yeah, no, it worked out. It was a great list, and like, I got to tell my my X-Men. I remember too. So Big Bag Beetleborgs was like on
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
time too, and
yeah.
it had the Jay Leno looking Elvis ghost.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
the bumpers, so like they hyped the hell out of X-Men, right? I mean, I knew I was there on the floor. I distinctly remember like the TV was in a cabinet and I was like this close to the TV
Yeah.
on the floor, had my pancakes, I was ready. I was watching X-Men, right? Um a huge X-Men fan my whole life. And then the Marvel trading cards, that's oh my god. Don't get me started on those either. But yeah,
So
so
which which ones are you talking about?
all of them, every series, series 1, series 2, series 3, Marvel's
So
masterpieces.
okay, so Marvel Series 1, you're talking about Captain America is like number 1, and it came with there was like Silver Surfer, Spider-Man, Cosmic Spider-Man, and Wolverine holograms.
I don't necessarily know which ones were the holograms because of all my years of cracking Marvel packs, I've never opened a hologram.
I got one. So I have the whole set of Series 1 Marvel cards, which were unbelievable. And then I have a friend that collects, I think they were Fleer. Like, and they got really like rich with color and gloss and all that too.
Those could have been the masterpieces.
Yeah.
They look like
Like
paintings and
very
stuff.
trading cards need to come back. Cheap trading cards. Trading cards are awesome when we were kids because they didn't cost anything.
I don't have like any of my trading cards floating around. Yeah, I was getting into Skeleton Warrior premium packs like a couple months back, cracking those.
Skeleton Warriors,
Yeah,
like the toys.
the toy slash cartoon. Yeah, they.
Cartoons. Oh wow, I didn't know they had cards. That's man underrated line right
Oh
there.
my god. So like, and not expensive. Not expensive. Like that's a good line if you're into like vintage toys and want to like start collecting something. Skeleton Warriors is definitely one to start with. They're not expensive.
Those are
Even on card they're not expensive.
great figures. Very highly detailed. Very cool. Yeah. Well, I people are asking for a toy episode, man.
Yeah,
That would be
we'll get on a toy episode. But um yeah, we'll do a toy episode. Let me write it down on the list cuz I'll have to go back to the
Oh,
season.
speaking of toy episodes, a little here we go. Stinkor. Joey Royale's Pizza Party. We have a part of the show called Stat It Up, where I ask people to take a toy and give it DCC stats. All right. So this month, April 20th, it's going to be Stinkor, and if you send it in and you get picked, you get to come on the show, talk it up, and then you get to participate in the trivia section of it. and everybody gets a prize. So if you want to stat up Stinkor, Lord Blood, LORD BLUDD at gmail.com to get a chance to get on the pizza party and win some prizes. All right. That's my 2 cents. Hey, they're asking, when is Primavera, buddy?
Is that Popcorn Primavera they're asking about?
Yeah, it is.
We got to set a date. We got to do it. We got to set a date.
Why don't we talk tomorrow? And we'll send it out to everybody.
All right. Yeah, we will. We'll solidify. I mean, we could even do it this next weekend, Easter weekend. What do you got going on? Friday night.
Might be Friday night.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me look in to see what we got going on, and I'll get in touch with you tomorrow.
Yeah, let me know, because
we'll blast it all over Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, we need to just bite the bullet on it.
I want to see all these people. I want to chill with them. That would be fun.
Yeah, because it was fun when we did the WHPA one. I'd like to do like a Neon Maniacs assemble.
Yeah.
Like a Popcorn Primavera it up, watch a movie together, laugh.
That would be great.
Make fun of it. I got some good ones. I got here. We got time. This is the most people we've ever had watching, so we might as well milk it for all it's worth. True. Oh, of course I drop everything.
Oh man, he's digging deep, folks. He's digging deep.
I got a couple new ones.
Now remember, Brian, when you turn, we can't hear you talk.
Oh, sorry.
I gotta smell this Stinkor.
The popcorn extravaganza.
My God.
I
Look
know.
at that.
So in the mail,
That's a beautiful thing.
In the mail yesterday, we got Hard Ticket to Hawaii is in the popcorn, and then Shocking Dark also showed up. So
my God, we are gonna have a blast, man.
Yeah. So I mean, and then Robo War showed up the other day. So like we got movies out the wazoo.
We can't lose. Well, I don't know, wherever that D20 lands, man, we're gonna have ourselves a shindig.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'll put that there. But yeah, I just dropped like a bunch of stuff trying to get to that box, but it was worth it. So yeah.
So we'll send a date out to everybody. Don't you fret. That's a must.
Yeah, so I justify it. Yeah, most of them are Blu-rays actually. They're roaming in one day. FYI. But anyway, no, just kidding. Some of them were DVDs. I justify the purchases of them for Popcorn Primavera because I'm like, but Ma, I got
write them off the tax.
Yeah, I got to write it off on the taxes. I got to have
It's a business.
Yeah,
it's a business cost.
So like, which is funny too because on Popcorn Primavera, Tammy and the T-Rex I do not own. It's like the only one I don't have a copy of, but I know it's streaming. It's on Shudder.
Okay, all right.
So like I'm not gonna go out and fully buy it, but like it's I guarantee it's gonna be the one I roll up because I don't have it. I don't have it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We'll judge you accordingly.
Yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, so next episode is episode what, 8?
8.
Episode 8 is going to be Grindhouse Cinema.
Yeah.
Was that 42nd Street?
Yep.
So
Times Square before Giuliani.
Yeah.
The real New York.
So yeah, get ready for some Gordon Herschel Lewis, some Roger Corman.
Crazy.
And Joey, guess what? Next episode, another guest.
Who we having on?
It is Ben Maz, one of the creators of Don't Tell Mom and Dad RPG.
Oh, yes, man. Yes.
Yes, he will be on with us to talk about everything Grindhouse and everything great about exploitation cinema.
My poor family, they're going to see some disturbing things on the TV screen over the next 2 weeks. It's going to be a Grindhouse massacre at the Royale household.
Yeah, I just dropped like all the standees. Is what I ended up.
Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland, which can be found. Where can people get it? That was the big talk this weekend. Where can you get a physical copy of this thing?
The only place you can get a physical
talking about hotcakes.
Yeah, the only place you can get a physical copy as of currently right now is blackrainbow.com. I'm going to put it in the chat for the people the 12 people on. I guarantee already have a
Already
copy.
have it. They're watching. Yeah.
It's blackrainbow.com with no vowels. So BLKRNBW. And speaking of him, um, we are merchandising. Speaking of like everything we talked about Saturday morning, merchandising and everything, we're merchandising the hell out of it. We got blacklight posters en route.
Yeah.
They're done. Blacklight posters are done, and then he just hit me up today asking for more merchandise. Like, what do we want to do? What do we want to make? And I said trucker hats.
Yes, absolutely.
So
I
yeah,
can't use. Listen, it's getting hard to keep up with all these gel purchases.
yeah.
So this summer, I'm going to need a hat, brother.
So
Absolutely. Those will last 2 seconds.
yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is even better. So this one was a prototype I got made from another company, and I don't like it. I don't like how it fits. There was like, I figured I had to wear something like, I had to rep the brand, if they as they
Sure.
say, right, for the stream. So this
You got
one,
the mesh in the back?
yep, it's a trucker hat.
Yeah.
It's got the
Yeah.
mesh.
Yeah.
So this one, it was a no go. I wasn't gonna buy them, but so there's nothing under the brim, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Picture this, Joey. The circle logo up here, the one that's on the screen for everyone to see. Under the brim, Lord Randy be praised.
Oh, I got this one lone tear that's stuck behind this mask right now.
That's
That's awesome.
yeah. I got to pick up these while I'm talking because it's driving me freaking bonkers. Yeah,
When can we expect to see those? Maybe.
That's a good question. I will get back to the Neon Maniacs about that when they're going to be available. But I know like we're talking Black Rainbow T-shirts coming up,
Yeah.
booty
Max
pants.
it out, man. Max it out.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna max it to the max. Um, there, and then you can get tie-dye shirts and all that stuff on that one T-shirt website, which I don't know. I can't endorse it yet because I haven't bought any. But that's where I was gonna get tie-dye ones for all the cons and stuff that I was gonna wear.
Cool. Get an
So
actual play up again in a couple of weeks, hopefully. That'd be cool.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing another. Okay, so here's another thing. So yeah, so get some live games going. And then 4th of July weekend, which was like when we were talking about 24-hour Twilight Zone marathons,
Yeah.
doing another 24-hour Neon Lords game.
Wow.
We did one. We did one over Black Friday weekend on
Did you
Thanksgiving.
really?
It was two 12-hour sessions. Yeah,
That's
that,
incredible. That's wow.
we did it. It was a charity stream. We ended up raising I think like $500.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, that's all John Hall. John Hall he did all the charity part. All I did was just run Neon Lords. We did the Mall of America, like, cuz like in the Neon Lords setting, like the Mall, MAUL of America,
Yeah.
is a mega dungeon.
That
So
is
like
incredible.
so so yeah, so like we did a run through Mall of America.
A
And
lot of space dust going around that day, I bet.
yeah, Vienna beef was crushed. So they had to I know, like, total rant episode, but it is what it is. Deal with it. You guys love the
That's what we
content.
do.
Yeah.
That's what we
So
do. Sometimes the sauce gets on the tablecloth.
yeah, that's all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So Vienna beef, God bless him. He they had to the power went out on the elevator, so they had to go, to the outer power box on some
Yeah.
random level, right, to flip the power back on. So the swoosh doors were like, was obviously there was no power, so they couldn't get the doors open. So two of them pried it open, and then Beef volunteered to go through the pried open held door, and of course both of them failed their burliness checks. The door slammed and squeezed into a Vienna beef sandwich, and then they got the bright idea to lob a grenade up into like a hole that they made, and then blew the door that Vienna beef was on down and just completely splattered them.
Dead?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But that was the stream too where the beef was trying to make a reality TV show pilot episode. So he had a camera crew following him, And
Oh
then
my goodness, that was amazing.
yeah, they definitely saw Grizzly Ed too. The poor like camera crew, like the boom mic operator was like eviscerated, like
Faces of death.
yeah, oh, it was insane. And then that's when they actually found in the upper level of the mall is like an actual like running mall, but there's a call of Zoltan, like like they have like a kiosk in the mall, and they were like living out of the kiosk trying to like heal up a little bit, like pretending they were part of the cult.
Is this watchable? Is this online anywhere?
That's a good question. I will find that out for you.
If you can, put that on the Neon Lords Facebook page, man. That sounds like an epic battle.
So yeah, there should be a dice bag, and there is. Yeah, Black Rainbow sells dice bags with a mini mag with the Ape Warlord class adventures or expansion books. Yes, there's 1,000. Not there though. I don't know. Oh, I don't know. There's a lot going on in this chat. Yes, buy a blacklight because the Neon Lords. He sells more blacklight posters, but the Neon Lords poster is 1,000 marons out of 5. That thing is glorious.
Thanks for everybody in the chat tonight. This
Oh
was
yeah.
really cool talking to everybody. It just adds so much to it.
Yep. So next show, Grindhouse Cinema. It's gonna get wild. It's gonna get gross. It's gonna get weird. It's gonna get ravioli for Randy for sure. So I'm sure everybody in the chat is already like loving it. That episode. It's gonna be fun, especially with Ben. Get a new face on the screen, so you don't have to see these old mugs anymore. And then
Man.
so that's what.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, the sale too. Yeah.
Tony from Neon Lords just sent an amazing piece of art of Stinkor that he's sending me. This dude is talented. It just popped up. Very cool.
Very, very cool. Yep. So chat's talking about the I'd buy that for $1 sale that's currently going on. Will end Monday. So if it's in your cart now, you might want to buy it. Everything Neon Lords on Drive Through Records is on sale for $1, except for the core rules. Obviously, can't. We got to keep the lights on here in the Neon.
Gotta keep. Come on, we gotta eat.
Yeah.
You can't give this stuff away.
No. Even though a lot of content is free.
So you're right. You do give away a lot of things.
Yeah,
it's
we
very
do.
Nice.
We do a lot of free stuff.
Cool.
So, but yeah, so
Grindhouse time. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Popcorn Primavera schedule will be out soon. Look for like some live streams. I know we got like a secret special guest possibly popping into an episode coming up.
Oh yeah.
So that's gonna be something.
There's a lot of secret stuff going on, boys and girls.
Yeah, behind the scenes is quite a flutter right now. So expect some big news. Yep, Black Rainbow site is cool. He is a solid dude. Buy up all the Neon Lord stuff because I get a kickback.
Absolutely.
I mean, not even a joke. I do. It's weird, but I don't. But he sends me money, but I'll take it. I tell him not to, but
good.
Yeah, and he's
right.
So yeah. On that note, so I am going to lead us out with the intro, so people can see it again, or people who didn't weren't in the chat at the time or watching at the time because it's early, gets to see it because like Joey knocked it out of the ballpark. He did the audio. I strapped together some video real quick for it. Came out beautiful. We love it. We're happy with it. And that's all that matters, right?
That's all that matters. It's all about bringing joy to all of our friends.
Yep. So on that note, Neon Maniacs, another successful Ravioli for Randy in the books. If you missed anything, it'll be on YouTube literally right after this. I upload them because it's easy as hell to do it. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Ciao, paisans.
Down in the basement with right for raviolis for Randy. Raviolis for Randy. Raviolis for Randy. Mac and me, Munchie and May.